Wow.
What? Oh.
Man, right out of the gate.
Sorry.
No wonder the show sucks.
I didn't even. I mean, I know I'm the reason the show sucks, but I mean, I didn't. I just lose track of time and stuff.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. This is Johnny Beane, John Mancuda. This is Talking Guitars and 80's Metal Live. Welcome. Welcome. Where are we? I'm trying to figure this out. I've got like so much technology behind the scenes you guys have never seen. I'm gonna have to do like a behind the scenes video or something one of these days.
Behind the scenes.
Show you guys. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's not like I'm just like staring at like one thing. It's like I got to keep track of like a million different things.
I'm imagining like Big Blue behind you. You know that Big Blue. You know the 50s computer. Big Blue.
Mm-hmm.
The big accomplishment was it was able to play chess against you.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I'm able to look at the analytics of like what's going on like while we're live. So I'm able to see that we have how many people here? 52? 56?
Oh,
yeah.
56. Oh, yeah. The numbers are climbing. People are pouring into the chat. It's like a concert hall that, you know, the doors open and, you know, the people are shuffling in, and within like, you know, 5 minutes, it's like from 0 to 100 and something, you know, which is great. You know, welcome everybody.
Yeah. We got 19 likes. It looks like, I think.
Wow.
Thank you.
We're just starting. Thank you.
Yeah. 20.
You guys have high expectations. We're about to crush. So
22. Can I see 24?
Hey, 25, 25, 25, 25 in the first round. Lady in the yellow, 25, 25, 25. Hey, 25, 25. We're looking for
24.
26, 27. Man jumps 26. To 28 in the back row. Thank you, sir. 28. Yeah. These guys auctioning off sheep and chickens and
28.
Thank you, Browns fan. You know what's really amazing? We're getting so many nice compliments and accolades in the chat, and I just know we're going to crush their hopes and dreams of a good show. This is terrible. I feel bad. Because we're getting thumbs up and compliments. Oh, you guys are great. It's like, hey, thanks. And then like 20 minutes in, they got to be like, these guys suck. The guy in the pink is stupid. Yeah. You know, they're sitting there with high expectations. I'm sitting there like, you know, eating a fucking, you know, lemon Hostess fruit pie, and, you know, we got a show, you know.
Wait a minute, that thing's real. That's an old one.
That's an old one. Yeah, that's that one's from a couple of years ago. But I have those really old ones I was showing off that one day with Fruit Pie the Magician. You know, those I collect. The ones from the 70s and the 80s, those I collect. I collect so much garbage. Literally, like, I know. I know. You've been to my house. You know, you walk in, you're like, what the fuck is all this crap? Holy hell. How do you get to where's your bed? It's under there. It's under there. What do you burrow under there? You know.
33 likes. Thank you.
You know, it's really funny. One of my ex-girlfriends years ago, she came over to my house and she sees like, you know, this is over at my parents' house, and she sees like mountains of comic books on my parents' on my bed, and she's like, where's your bed? Is your bed under there? I said, yeah. She's like, what is that? Is that your burrow? Do you burrow under there like a little mink? Are you a mink? Do you burrow under there? And you know, you're happy under the burrow? I mean, she, for years she teased me about that. You burrow? Yeah. Now I have to keep the bed respectable because Blue Rhino, he's a neat freak, you know. So he likes, you know, clean sheets and the comforter, and you know. But yeah, no, you know, I collect old comic books and comic art and old cereal boxes from the 70s and 80s, and cookie bags and ice cream pints and all sorts of kids' food stuff like from the 70s and 80s, because I think that's like a really fun, marketable time in history. you know. So
Yeah.
let's see. Looking in the chat. In other words, I collect piles of shit. I collect garbage. It's all over the place. You know, it's like when I die, my heirs are gonna, which is basically my friends and you know, one or two relatives. They're just gonna look and they're gonna be like, they'll be like, "What? He left us all this shit." You know, they're gonna like throw out all these valuable collectibles that, like, you know, you could go on eBay and make some real money on, but they're gonna look, they're like, fucking 1970s fruit pie wrapper. What the fuck is this shit from? You know, it's like a, you know, fucking $300 collectible. It's like,
No wonder
but they don't know. They don't know. Yeah, they don't know. I'm, you know, it's like you look at my house, it looks like hoarders, but there's actually valuable collectibles all over the place. It's like, you know, people are gonna be like, take it. Look, he's got like hundreds of old cereal boxes from the 70s and 80s, Donkey Kong cereal and Fruit Brute, and this is garbage. It's like, meanwhile, I'll be down in hell looking up. I'll be like, that's a $4,000 cereal box. Don't throw it out. I left you a fortune. Ah! Yeah.
Yeah, just leave everything to the garbage man. That's
listen, whoever is my heirs that clean up my residences and they look through and give it to the garbage men, those garbage men are going to be driving Lamborghinis. They're going to be like, I don't know, someone threw out like all these comic books from the 1940s. I don't know who was that stupid, but you know, everything, an old, we put our old cereal boxes up at auction, this guy threw out, and that made us like, you know, 80 grand. And then, you know, I mean, it's like, it's just going to suck. It's just going to suck. I know, you know, no one's going to, you know, I have no kids or anything. So no one's going to know what the fuck, like I even left them. I leave my entire, you know, fortune to my cousin. My cousin's going to look and she's going to be like, what the fuck? This is all garbage. First, we got to clean out this place. Let's get bins and garbage bins. I'm gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be like Blueberry cereal boxes from 1975 worth like $500 each, and she's gonna like throw out like 100 of them. It's like, oh my god, and, you know.
And
you know,
like,
by the way, I said looking up because I'm going to hell. I mean, there's not a question there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know.
Johnny knows. Yeah, we all know. That's
right, Paul.
No mystery there.
Paul knows that.
Paulie knows that.
Are you killing yourself?
Oh, dude, I might as well. I might as well.
Do it on the show, though. You got to do it on the show.
Well, yeah, of course I'm going to do it for the ratings. What are you kidding?
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. Yeah. I'm, you know.
I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know. It's funny you're talking about, you know, not having anybody to will your stuff to. Someday all of this will be an estate issue.
Yeah, exactly. No, like, you know, I have a will, and you know, in it I have some very close friends, you know, just, you know, certain people are getting certain things, and you know, and my cousin, and you know, but like I have no, like, you know, per se one heir like my son or daughter or something that's like, someday, son, this shit will all be yours, you know. Thanks, Dad, that's great. Yeah.
He gets everyone else's throwaways. Why not?
I've been there.
Exactly. Well, none of us have kids. None of us have kids here.
Well, and you know what, proof there is a God.
Yeah, exactly. No, like, you know, obviously, you know, I have close friends, and those close friends I want to reap the benefits of, you know, all I've worked for, you know.
Yeah, I have two dogs, and I've got a couple of nephews, but they're both on the spectrum, so they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They wouldn't know what to do. They'd be like, you know, they'd be throwing CDs around like they're frisbees, and
yeah. I mean, I have a cousin. I love her, so she's in there. You know,
good for you.
But otherwise, it's like, you know, a couple of my best friends, and it's like, that's it.
Well, I know I'm not on that list because I wasn't contacted by a genealogist yet, so whatever. It's all good. I don't want anything, John. Maybe the Captain America shield.
Well, listen, you know,
maybe
when you say a genealogist, you don't have to be contacted by anyone to be named in someone's will.
No,
you know?
but I certainly need the impetus to be motivated enough to swoop down on your estate like some sort of a sick black vulture from hell.
See, certain people I've left like certain things, like a guitar to this friend, my comic books to this friend, my artwork to this friend, things like that.
I love the fact that the only thing in life that you plan for is your death. That's the only thing you're ready for.
I'm overdue, man. I'm overdue. I'm on borrowed time, believe me. I'm just here.
Speaking of which, I'm on borrowed time tonight. A, I don't feel well, and B, I have a very active dog situation here that has been sort of out of control today. So if I tap out early, you'll know why.
Doggies have diarrhea?
No, well, one of them is has got her moments, and I've had a pounding fucking headache all day. So you know what, Johnny? Here we go.
Oh my God! My whole empire's falling apart. Wow! Look what Santa got you. There I go.
Mancuda doesn't have one of these, does he?
Well, yeah, of course I do.
You do? Okay, yeah. I thought so. I was like, who I got this? I got this from fucking Zimmerman. Like Dane Zimmerman, I get this text, stop by the shop. I have a present for you. I'm like, oh, finally, he's giving me a nice guitar. Blah, 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 blah. I get there. He's like, hands me an Amazon envelope. He's like, congratulations. I'm like, cool. You spent $19 on a Chinese sound machine. That's more than I would have done for this show. Congratulations. So
nice.
Shout out to Dane Zimmerman over at Zim's Guitars in Mesa. Please go buy a guitar so you can offset the cost of his contribution to the production value of this show.
Thank you, Dane. We love Dane. Jeez.
Dane.
Well, now the that I have to change my will now because this was going to you.
Oh shit! Well, those, you know what? Well, some men have.
I'll give you a guitar. I'll give you a guitar, Paul. Don't worry.
Thanks. Great. As some men have so little, some are blessed with so much. Can you imagine if I was able to double barrel one of these things? Just sit there with two of them. Don't even bother.
Yeah, no, I'm going over Paulie's house. I'm going over Paulie's house next weekend to write down my CD wish list of what I want from his will. So it's like, I need that one. Okay, I need that. Here you go.
I got a gift card for my local CD store because I basically bought a piece of equipment and they don't do cash refunds, so they give you a gift card. So I went out to the store and I bought all of the Slaughter records that I didn't own, which is all of them except for Stick It To You.
Good choice.
And I found the Trickster records that I didn't own, a live Warrant record, 2 Duran Duran albums that I didn't own, and the album, the second album from a band that most people have never heard of called Zephyr, which was Tommy Bolin, who spent some time in Deep Purple and he's now gone. It was the band that he was in originally, Zephyr. It's sort of a blues. Imagine early Whitesnake with a Janis Joplin vocalist, which is kind of neat. The most notable thing about Zephyr is Tommy Bolin. But I found their second record called Going Back to Colorado. So that's so now I'm looking at my CD rack, knowing that I have to put all those in there, knowing that I have to make space because every couple of months, you have to move all the CDs so you can make space for the ones that you put in. And that's just
you got to move you got to move multiple shelves over to get in 2 CDs. It's like, okay, let me put these here and
I usually plan for that by moving everything a couple times a year, and I'll leave a half a dozen spaces on each shelf. You know what I mean? But I stagger them. So everything, you know what I mean? So I can just slide everything in and it doesn't really make much of a difference. But it doesn't take long for you to realize that things like the D's and the S's fill in a lot faster than, the I's and the Q's.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Wow.
So that's gonna be one of my projects. Exciting.
I'm surprised that you were missing those Slaughter records because those are top notch.
I've never been a huge Slaughter fan. I like the first record, and I've run into Mark on several occasions, and he's a super cool dude and
Super nice.
And I actually, despite what some people say about him, I like Dana as well.
It was nice to me.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. But I know some people don't like him. I've always found those guys to be cool. So I'm like, you know what? I don't own these records. And they had like Fear No Evil and Revolution and Back to Reality. And like, those are so tough to find. You don't see those in CD stores. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to grab the block of them because I'm never going to have a situation where I see them all in one space at one time for like $4.99 a pop. So I just grabbed them. Yeah.
So. That's like a no-brainer. And they're really good.
Yeah, I mean, look, they were always, again, there was a bunch of those bands back then that I found that were a little too polished for my tastes when I was in my 20s. I wanted my music a little bit more raw. I wanted a little bit more Van Halen, a little bit more AC/DC, a little less polished, a little less, I don't want to say corporate, but just perfect. Like Def Leppard's Hysteria wasn't one of my favorite records back then.
Really?
Back then I was a high and dry guy. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of a rawness to it.
Less Journey.
Yeah. I just don't, less Sammy Van Halen, way more Dave Van Halen. There's a difference. There's a textural difference.
There's no wrong answer in Van Halen.
Gary. John BL, did you hear that? By the way, your CD rearranging, that sounds like an awesome Saturday night to me.
Oh, just do that during the show?
Yeah. Let us watch. We'd like to watch that.
Yeah.
Johnny likes to watch a lot. I found a GoPro in my shower. Johnny likes to watch.
I left that over there.
It is it would be quite an endeavor. Now I've got a situation where sometimes when I realize I have doubles for things, like I have something called, you'll love this, the Koch Records. It's COCH, not cock.
I thought it was the Crotch Records. I was going to go for that one.
Koch put out a limited edition 3 CD box set of the first 2 Judas Priest records and then a third one called Hero Hero, which is like a compilation of Sad Wings of Destiny and Rock-a-Rolla. And I have that and I don't need it because I have the catalog. So what I'll do occasionally is go through my CD collection and just grab stuff that I have doubles of, or I don't listen to, or I'm not going to need. And that ends up becoming trade fodder. And it solves the problem of cleaning up some shelf space.
Yeah, and you can trade those in when you go to the used place anyway, right?
Yeah, that's usually. But you know what? The trade value now has gone from $2 a record to $1 a record to sometimes a quarter. And at that point, I'm like, fuck you. I keep them on principle.
Some of them you should just throw on eBay for the rarer ones.
I might, yeah.
Makes some real money.
A lot of those that they what's the big place in Hollywood? Amoeba,
yeah.
So Amoeba, places like Amoeba and Rasputin's, that's none of them. You take some stuff and they won't even take it.
No, they won't take it unless
because they have piles and piles of those exact ones sitting there already.
Yeah.
Well, especially in Hollywood, because this was like the hair metal scene. So like everybody and their mother is bringing those in,
And they got, because the record industry is there, they got sleeves of promos.
Yeah, slash bins.
That were all given out to everybody. So, but no, I mean, I've got, as you guys know, I've got a fairly eclectic and deep collection of hard rock and metal stuff. And some of it is irreplaceable, and some of it is just sentimental. Like, I don't know why I need both the 11 CD Cult White Box EP collection and the Rare Cult box set, because it's all the same music. But for whatever reason, I have both versions of those box sets, and I don't need both of them. But it's almost like a hoarder situation. I have to sort of accept that it's time to let him go.
If Paulie didn't have those shelves, he'd have a burrow too. He'd burrow under the CDs, and like a little mole, he'd come out and is the show on? And
Well, when you got an issue when you go to IKEA and you see they have like a special on the Billy bookcase, which is I think what these are.
Do you know how many of those I have behind me?
Yeah.
Look behind me. I mean, there they are. So they're all around the room, by the way.
Yeah, so mine are too. They wrap the room around. I mean, if you notice the one behind me, you guys can see there's the one behind me, and then there's the one next to me, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more on the other side of the room So when you buy the Billy bookcase, and just for the record, I have 2 more in reserve, like sitting in a closet that haven't been built yet,
Nice.
knowing that I was gonna do this, that this was gonna be an issue. Like I'm already looking at this back here, and I'm like, all right, well, if I move the books that are on this bookshelf up in the top, if I move those down to the space on the bottom here that's empty, then I can move some of this stuff here that's like, sort of display stuff down, and then move more CDs and put like 4 more rows of CDs here. Like I'm already doing, it's like a complete architectural redesign of my room. And this is what I do between Tuesdays and Saturdays, and then Saturdays and Tuesdays.
Nice. And then this is why we look and we're like, why does that look like it's been moved over there? Look at your background. Hey, let's get a couple of things out of the way, because we kind of jumped in. We're 22 minutes in, and we haven't even said a roll call or executive producers. We got big bosses to answer to out here, and we got to give them their due. Executive producers keep the show running, like Charles Green, Joe Christian, Wayno, Thomas Santiago. Fuck Wayno.
Fuck that guy.
Hey, listen, as long as that check keeps coming in, I got to say it. Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Ben Tom, James Gum. Listen, this one I gotta give a big shout out to Sean Janson and
Merci, papa.
Sean Janson. Sean sent me a package. Sean sent me a package. And I'm going to show you guys what was in a minute. Mike Neese, Frank Corcoran, Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Stephen Franklin, Dan Halen, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael. No Browns fan. I do not have government mule. I don't like jam bands.
Oh. Yeah, so let me show you guys what Sean Janson sent me. And yes, you can become a channel member too. Click the button. Become a channel member, and as a channel member, you get perks. You got a lot of
what kind of perks?
You get a lot of exclusive content, like that GoPro Johnny put in my shower, stuff like that, and you get a lot of big emojis and all sorts of stuff. Johnny sends you a Christmas card. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let me show you what Sean Janson.
Merci, papa.
Oh, Sean.
Cecil, I don't have Rough House. I do have Jailhouse.
If you remember, Sean sent Johnny a package of like all sorts of cool spices and sauces, and I was like super envious of that. Sean contacted me and he said, "Hey man, Kuda, if you like that, I'll send you a package too." So he did. God bless his soul. And look at all the cool shit.
He showed you his package.
He sure did, and his sack. Yeah.
Zappos. Nice.
These are, have you had these, Paulie?
I've seen them. I haven't eaten them, but I know people love them.
Zapp's potato chips. This particular style, New Orleans kettle style voodoo. He sent me a couple bags of that. These are so freaking good.
Yep.
I'm like sucking the bag out. It's like,
wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sucking the bottom of the sack.
That's
just good.
No, don't do that.
So good.
Yeah, Louisiana, the food, like everything in Louisiana, will kill you. All of the food down there is
it's so good,
fatty and cheesy, and in some sort of with mud bug. It is the best. Louisiana, and I will stand by this in every way, shape, and form. Louisiana has the best food in the United States, bar none. You can take your bistros in San Francisco and your steakhouses in New York and your Chicago style pizza and cram it all up your ass. Louisiana is where the food is in the United States. It's the best. It's so good.
I mean, it's really good. I'll give it that. I don't know if it's better than certain foods in New York. I'm a little biased being a New Yorker, obviously, but Boner Jams, by the way, says this is the hottest menage a trois I've seen since last night's Bang Brothers performance. Welcome,
congratulations.
Boner Jams. Well,
wait till the money shot, Boner Jams.
Hold on, stick around.
It's Bukkake Tuesday.
Yeah, you missed it. I started the show by masturbating to Betty White's magazine. So we're off to a raging start, boys and girls. But look at all this good seasoning. Tony Kasher's original Creole seasoning, which I know Johnny got one too. This stuff is delicious.
It's still not Zatarain's.
It's not, but it's yummy.
Yeah.
This stuff, Walker and Son, Slap Your Mama, which my mom is all upset about. Well, that sounds dangerous, John.
Why are you advocating that kind of domestic violence?
Why would you say that on the air? You'd slap your mother?
Go ahead, do that. I brought you into this world, and I'll take you out.
I will take you out.
Yeah. Wait till your father gets home.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. I hope he has all his legs.
Yes. Well, what is your father, an arachnid? He's only got 2. Yeah. I hope he has all his. He only came home with 5 legs. Man, it's like a lobster that got caught in a trap and just lost 3 legs.
He's got like that one little claw on the flipper still going. It's like they took the claws, you know.
Your old man has one hand. He's a cull.
And then look, a nice hot sauce. Look at the face on that guy. And I love a good hot sauce.
That's Jamie Bergeron. Yeah. So that's Jamie Bergeron.
That's a good one. And then delicious Cajun Power spicy garlic sauce that I haven't used yet, but I tried. That's going to be great on chicken, man.
Yeah, that's going to, you do that with your air fryer, with your buffalo wings, and you will be shitting for weeks.
I'm looking forward to that. A little cleanse.
Garlic and Cajun spice, game on.
Oh, yeah. And this is my favorite because apparently I like this brand, Daigle's.
What do you mean apparently I like this brand?
Apparently they're really fucking good.
That's an endorsement as hell, I guess.
No, because I saw Johnny got a different bottle of this stuff, and that looked really good. And then I got a different flavor, and it's like Johnny likes his, and that looked good, and this one looks great. This is Daigle's Cajun sweet and sour spicy sauce. Knuckle licking good. I guess like when I fisted, I just.
Oh, boy, that's no good. Come on.
Oh, boy. Knuckle licking good.
Digs.
Oh,
good.
Cajun.
Yeah. He sent me some of that one, too.
Good.
Cajun.
Well, no, you got, I know, a different flavor of this. You got like some rib sauce or something. Same brand, though.
How come the fattest guy on the show didn't hit any food-related products here?
I guess he's trying to tell you something. I don't know what the deal with that is. I would have sent you something.
No, you wouldn't.
False flag. Mixing album now. Love you guys. To all here when it's done. Thank you so much.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. False flag with those Australian dollars again. Another $2 American. God.
What's great about false flag though is he mixes during times when the kid is sleeping. You know what I mean? Like he puts the kid down. Probably puts some of those Remington gun headphones on so you don't hear when they're shooting in the neighborhood. Those type of things. There's ear protection on, and then he starts mixing the record while the kid's asleep. Shh, kid's sleeping. This is so fucking metal. I wish we could crank it, but we can't. Kid's sleeping.
So again, thank you, Sean. That was very, very sweet of you. I really appreciate it because I'm making good use of that stuff already. It's delicious. I'm already through 2 bags of the chips too. And also I got in the mail.
Wow.
Look at this badass Christmas card that I got from Adam Reaver at FU Tone. Look at
Adam's
that.
awesome. I don't know Adam well, but his product is the fucking balls.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best.
Well, we're going to talk about something of Adam's a little later I want to talk about. But
he's making guitars now.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about. And not just guitars, really well laid out guitars. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I want to bang through a couple of things. But thank you for the Christmas card, Adam. And let's see what else.
Thank you, Adam.
Let's
Adam, maybe next Christmas, huh?
Oh, you didn't get one, Paulie?
No, Adam doesn't. He doesn't know me. I don't know Adam. You guys have known him for a while. I don't know Adam. I just know his product is the fucking best. If you're thinking of upgrading your guitars,
it really is.
I mean, I'm not saying that because again, I don't know Adam. There's no Christmas card in it for the fat guy. I just know that everything I've done with the brass blocks that Adam puts together, or the trem inserts, everything that Adam offers up to make your guitar better. There are a lot of companies that tell you your guitar will sound better after you do this to it. Most of them are bullshit. Adam's are legit. You can take an FU tone guitar and put it next to a $2,000 off the rack guitar, and his upgrades will make that guitar sing better. It just will sound better. There's more resonance. It's an absolute fact. His product is awesome. And again, nothing in it for me. I'm just telling you the truth.
No. We don't get free guitars. But I'm just saying. But no, we are going to talk about Adam's guitars because I watched the video on it. I really do want to talk about it. And Paulie, Sean Janson. who's an executive producer now. He's one of the big bosses. So the money's flowing. The money's a flowing here. He said,
but it's cocaine money.
Package on the way for you. He just said that. He just said that it's on the way. So
thank you, Sean Johnson.
You're gonna Janson.
Oh, sorry.
You're gonna get some of that good stuff. I'll bet it's in there.
Yeah.
I want to see what's in Paulie's package. There's a loaded joke there.
Get in fucking line, kid.
Yeah. Right now, there's like
where did Wayno go? Did he go away? I told him to fuck off, and I guess he did.
There's like 4 girls outside Paulie's window.
Yeah,
I want to see your package too.
We all know that's not true.
That'd be great if it was, though.
The only pussy outside my window are the little kitties sleeping in the bush out there. Yeah.
Feral cats outside the house.
I know this might be shocking to you, but I ain't the most popular boy in my neighborhood.
Well, I don't know, man. You need more explosives, apparently.
That's all right. Johnny's got me covered.
Let's also, and thank you, Kurt 5150, pointing out my air fryer skills, because I've been frying chicken wings all the last 2 weeks and posting them on my Facebook, on Jonathan Mancuda on Facebook. And yeah, dude, those are legit, man.
You've become one of those assholes on Facebook that all you do is post the food you're eating. That's so 11 years ago.
I got no life. I have no love. Nobody loves me. I mean,
clearly,
I'm not dating. I'm not. I have no friends. I mean, Blue Rhino, but he loves to eat. So what? How do you keep a rhino fat? Feed him. So it's like, yeah, no. I've been making love to my air fryer. I've been like, and yeah, that Cajun seasoning has been coming in real good handy. So let's see. Also,
wow.
Let's see. Fruitcake Tony wants to know clue for tonight's show and tell guitar. Okay, here you go. You got to be a comic book geek. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. And that's your clue. If you're a comic book geek,
you have Ryan Reynolds' guitar?
You never know. You might be onto something, Paulie.
By the way, how about Ryan Reynolds? He had a chance. He fucked up one movie franchise and then defined the second one. Good for him. His version. Yeah. And by the way, I didn't think his version of Green Lantern was that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. By the way, everybody say hello to Ace and how he has my thumb in his mouth. I mean, he thinks he's got the ball, but my thumb is in the ball, and he's breaking my thumb right now.
Yay!
But yeah, I don't think that Green Lantern movie was that bad. Of course, Deadpool is fucking legend.
Deadpool is great. I mean,
I didn't see either one, so
I know you didn't.
Cecil asked, "How old is my German Shepherd?" That one I think is about 3 or 4. They're both rescues, and the other one she's close to 9 or 10. I don't know how old she is, but yeah, my German Shepherds are awesome, as vicious as they might be. Taking my thumb, that fucking hurt, by the way.
Oh.
And let's also acknowledge roll call, because we're only 35 minutes into the show. Let's read roll call.
Oh yeah, and fuck you, Wayno. I'm just responding to him. He did respond, so we're gonna do that today.
Fuck you, Wayno, and fuck you, JoJo.
What you guys don't know is Wayno is the closest thing to a brother I have that isn't really my brother. He was the drummer in our band years ago, my roommate, my partner in crime, and is the best friend, one of the best friends I have in my life. And he stumbled on this show randomly because he's a Van Halen fan and a fantastic drummer, plays white Ludwigs like Alex Van Halen, and stumbled on this show completely unrelated to the fact that I was involved in it. And he's just like, what the fuck? What a small world. Yeah.
And now he's our fucking boss. Now he's
he had no idea. He had no idea I was involved in this show at all, or in the Saturday Night Show. He just, because he's a Van Halen fan, found Johnny Beane, as we all do, found the channels, and then next thing you know, I'm sitting there and I see him in the chat. I go, fuck is Wayno doing here?
We got to find this guy, Wayno.
Yeah, Wayno, that's the kid we're looking for, because he's got dreams and stuff.
Hopefully that guy will stumble into the show.
So yeah, Wayno and I have been involved in a lot of shit that we will die and take to our graves. We lived together, and the parties in our house were epic. Things like people waving guns around in the fucking living room drunk, just stupid shit.
So
in the
basically,
80s.
a day in Florida, any day.
It was, yeah, it was completely. I mean, it was out of control. Best time of my life. So now he's saving lives. He's a fireman. And a badass. And while the rest of us are all being pussies when we see house fires, we go, Jesus, somebody should call a fireman. Wayno's up on the ladder going, hey boy, I'm gonna put you over my shoulder. Here we go. His father was a fireman. He was a badass.
I did one time. I rolled up on a house that was on fire, and I called 911 one time.
Well, thank you for your service, Johnny. Your bravery will always be recognized.
Well, here's the thing. Wayno's father, I'll gloss his father a little bit because, I don't know that we give firemen the credit that we really do. Wayno's father is the guy that was always in the newspaper. We lived in Framingham, Massachusetts, and he was a Framingham fireman. And anytime there's a fire, this, you've seen this in your local newspaper or on the news, there's always that picture of the big fireman up on the ladder with a body over his shoulder, like taking him out of the burning building. Well, that was Wayno's father, because Wayno's father's twice my size. He's a big fucking Portuguese guy and could basically throw a Buick up over his shoulder if he needed to. So they were like, okay, let's find the biggest guy we can find who might be a weight issue on this ladder and throw him 26 feet in the air to put a 200-pound guy over his shoulder and bring him down one-handed. And that's what Wayno's old man did. So that guy's awesome. So there are pictures of his father all over the newspaper for years of him just taking people out of fires. He's a fucking hero.
My dad used to smoke. Does that count?
Well, there is fire involved in that, so sure.
Your stupid father, man.
Coda. I'd set your father on fire if I could.
Your father.
And you're flaming, so it makes perfect sense.
Father should have left you in a burning building, Mancuda.
I'd like to put you in an ambulance, you fuck.
David Cocksucker Crosby. So let's run down a quick roll call just to say, aside from Wayno, we have Janice Lala, Mama Mancuda, Sean Janson. I feel like I should chase him in the undergrounds of Paris for 21 years. Looking for Cosette, it's
Sean Jean is the guy that walks through the dimly lit subway of Paris and comes across the Arnie Saknussemm. Nobody gets that reference. The Arnie Saknussemm initials and the arrow. Sean Janson.
A lone explorer named Arnie Saknussemm.
Nobody knows that. This is a ridiculous reference.
No, we've used it before. Journey to the Center of the Earth cartoon.
Yep.
I know it's an old cartoon, but some of you have seen it. Anyway, if you've seen the show, we've talked about it.
This is super nerd shit.
Yeah, totally. There it is. There we are. Journey to the Center of the Earth with the Tuesday crew. There we are. There's Paulie and Johnny, myself. There's Cindy, Alec, and the evil Count Saknussemm and his brute-like manservant Tor.
Tor.
Where do they find these brute-like manservants to hire?
I don't know, but you know what? I'm
answering the Craigslist ad. Count Saknussemm.
This is the worst part. The worst part about that is, if you were to look at this show and you were casting that show, you're thinking, okay, brutal manservant.
Oh no! Come on, man. No, you're easily Lars. I mean,
easily Lars. Lars is here. Yeah,
we get Gertrude. Gertrude
the goose.
You know what sucks in the movie?
Why? You know what? We would have been 4 days into the center of the earth, and that goose would have been fucking served for dinner.
But in the movie, they did. In the movie, they caught Gertrude and they cooked it.
Yeah, can't do that. Can't do that in a cartoon.
Yeah,
Little dark.
Do it in the cartoon. I like Gertrude. Whoa, look what they did.
Grab the Gertrude's wishbone.
Yeah. Oh no, kids! They got Gertrude. Yeah, that was a great cartoon, though. Man.
The show is off the rails officially.
I like that, and Fantastic Voyage was the other
Fantastic
show
Voyage.
that played next to Journey to the Center of the Earth. Fantastic Voyage, they just, they had the Voyager, the spaceship, and they shrunk down a team of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, a team of 4. Let's see, what was it? It was Jonathan.
I don't remember. I remember.
It was,
I remember
the captain, and he's the captain because he's got the eye patch.
What I loved about Fantastic Voyage was there were only like 4 animations for the spaceship, like the ship when they would miniaturize it, and then the only video you saw was it going down and straight to the camera.
All right, I got
it would go down like this. It would go down, straight down, and then like it was like the animation was like down and then forward. And you were like, oh my God, it's coming straight for us.
And you had that little rattlesnake noise as it shrunk.
That was the American equivalent. Fantastic Voyage and Journey to the Center of the Earth was the American equivalent of the Battle of the Planets Star Blazers hour, where you would see Battle of the Planets would be on from 3 to 3:30, and 3:30 to 4 would be Star Blazers, and then 4 to 4:30 might be Force 5 if you were lucky enough to be in one of those areas that had 90 minutes of Japanimation that you could watch, which is now anime because you can't say Japanimation because it's racist.
Yeah, I had to go across the room and like break out the animation cells. So like just so people that haven't seen this know what we're talking about.
Nerds. Oh, I got some. It's out in my truck. I should show you. A buddy of mine, a kid named Jason Fisher, who I used to work with in Boston. Jason sent me 2 glasses, old collectible animation glasses. They were from Pepsi because he knows I'm a big Pepsi drinker. But one of them is Wile E. Coyote, and the other one is Foghorn Leghorn with the chicken hawk throwing a bomb at him.
Nice.
Which is, I mean, and yeah, obviously you can't get these things anymore, but he apparently runs an Etsy store, and out of the blue, I get this thing. He goes, I usually sell these old cartoon things in Etsy, but when I saw the Wile E. Coyote Super Genius thing, because that's sort of a joke of mine, it's on my business card. It says Super Genius. Hang on, I got a dog barking. I got to go let her out. But Jason sent me these two cool glasses. So I'll be right back. I got to let him out. Grab those cells because I want to see them.
All right, I'm ready at the helm. We'll do roll call. And yeah, Battle of the Planets, huge cartoon influence for me. I get home, they were playing, and again, these came out years ago, but they were they were always rerun on the New York stations that I grew up with. But let's do a roll call because I've been dying to do it for the last 45 minutes. Let's say hi to Mickey Newman, E flat 916, Browns fan. Thank you, brother. Robot Master Switch, Thrash Metal and Fun Riffs, David Shea Gormery, my girl Sandra Picorni. Picorni, Picorni, Picorni. Me love you long time. Love you. Let's see. Janice Lala. Hey, Janice. Liddy Lou and Mary. Kurt 5150. Checking out my air fryer and cooking stuff on Facebook. Look at Jonathan Mancuda on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. People join my Instagram because I need to build that up. I try not to use it, but I'm starting to use it. So just look for me on Instagram. Jonathan Mancuda.
Instagram is awesome, man.
Yeah,
I've been on there.
Awesome.
I've been there for years.
There's not enough conversation on Instagram. I talk a lot on Facebook. I get all my messages on Facebook. I like Facebook better, but join my Instagram anyway, just to make me happy.
We know Facebook owns Instagram, so it's the same.
I know, but it's I just got to build it up. Just sign up. Johnny's on it. Nightbot in the house. Chris Bevan, Charles Green, Halface, JJ's House of Jams, Jim Nicholas, Eduardo Marino Porto. God, I love that. Thunder Falcon. Let's see. Mickey Settlemeyer, Cecil Muzak, Charles Green. Let's see who else in the house. I don't have a definitive list. Brian Spalding, Mickey Newman, Halface, Boner Jams. Let's see. Fruitcake Tony, my man. Mark Dillon, James Gum, the original Paramutant. Yeah, Fruitcake Tony, that pizza I posted the other day from Larchmont Village Pizzeria. Oh my God, their pizza's amazing. It's the only good pizza in LA. It really is. Cheech, Silver Surfer fan. Me too, brother. Kevin Coachell, Brian Spalding. James Gum, love you too, brother. Let's see. I know I'm repeating names at some point because I'm such a mess. Let's see.
What you do is you ask everybody where they're from.
Oh, I know where they're all from. They're from all over the world.
No, because you'll get names in the chat you've never seen. Where's everybody from? Where are you watching from right now?
David Shea Gormley, of course, False Flag. Thank you, brother. From Australia. Let's see. Yeah, say hi in the chat so I don't repeat so many names. Because I'm just scrolling. Dan Halen, Deja Voodoo, Lenny Lou and Mary. I know everybody's here. We're all here to have a good time on Tuesday. Because, man, it has been a fuck of a week. Holy shit. 2020 was like all this shit. We had this great 2020 New Year's Eve 6-hour special. And we're all happy and everything. We're like, yeah, 2021. And then 6 days in, it was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, we it's cursed.
Yeah, we're screwed. But all right, we had a good first couple of days out of it, and now we're just still going. Let's see. Island Winder, Sean Janson, of course.
Sean Janson.
Thank you so much. You know what sucks is Sean's package arrived, it had a gaping hole in the top. And
wait,
I'm like,
what?
oh shit. Someone no, seriously, this big hole, someone ripped it open. And I'm thinking oh shit, all my hot sauces are gone. And no, they were all in there, but somewhere in the shipping it got screwed. Let's see. Enta, Bob the Goon.
Bob the Goon.
Yeah, say no, Bob. Well, Bob the Goon is it's the Goon or Alice the Goon. I mean, I don't know.
Alice the Goon, yeah.
There's Alice the Goon from Popeye, and there's the Goon from comic books.
Yep.
So Steve Carmichael in Atlanta.
Steve.
It's Robot Master Switch. Chad Becknell, Chris Bevan. Let's see. 802 Blues.
Everybody, log into your troll accounts so we see some new names.
Yeah, I know, right? So we see.
And leave some thumbs. And subscribe. And I'll be right back.
Janice Lala.
All right. I guess he'll be right back.
We've taken over the show, Paulie.
Great.
Joke Riddler, Danny's Rockin' Metal. Let's see. Dwight Bailey. Jesus Rapes Me. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Forgive me. We got to just move on. We're talking about cartoons. We got to talk about cartoons. So here's for those that haven't seen Battle of the Planets. I'm sorry, Fantastic Voyage. Let me just throw this back in. Hold on.
Which always got confused with Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Right, because they were always back to back. Journey to the Center of the Earth was basically a couple people going to the center of the earth to find the lost city of Atlantis, followed by the evil Count Sactisum and his brutish manservant Thor. Yeah, you remember he pulls down the plunger of the dynamite.
It's funny because they're all Hanna-Barbera commercials, so they all look cartoons, so they all look exactly the same.
They're Filmation.
Oh, Filmation, excuse me.
Filmation. Yeah.
But same thing, where Filmation had a style, King Feature Syndicate had a style, Warner Brothers had a style, although when Warner Brothers went away from Warner Brothers and then had the Patty Freeling years, those weren't as good. Because they lost all the sound effects and they lost the rights to the Carl Stalling music and all of the things that made Warner Brothers cartoons as great that we loved. In the 60s and 70s, they started to go to the shitter. But the original, 30s through 60s, that stuff is fucking outstanding.
Oh, it's great stuff. And
then of course Hanna-Barbera is all the same.
Filmation came out. They started like with the 60s stuff. And they, their first ones basically in the mainstream were Journey to the Center of the Earth, which, we just played with. Then Fantastic Voyage. Fantastic Voyage, basically, again, both from the novels. So you had this ship right here, the Voyager.
The Voyager, yeah.
All right.
Which you could buy, by the way. They had a toy of that.
I never saw a toy of it.
Yeah.
You get all the best toys. You got.
Well,
and then
the Slocums had them.
They shrank them down in a government facility, obviously being watched by a government official right there.
And they were placed inside bodies.
Yeah, they were like injected
in the human body.
Hypodermic needle or something. So here's your
But they had to be in and out of the body within a certain time, or they would have returned to their normal size, thereby killing the person.
12 hours. Yeah. So in 12 hours, they grew, no matter where they were. If they injected you injected into your penis, you suddenly like there's a ship growing in your penis. You're like, holy shit, get out, Voyager. So here's your team. Here's your team. Okay. From this side on. Okay. Well, we'll start.
By the way, the Indian guy was nothing more than Haji from Johnny Quest.
Well, he was grown up Haji, basically. Okay, so on the first guy in blue, if you could see this, if Johnny was here, he'd spotlight it better. That's Captain Jonathan Kidd. Get it? The eye patch Kidd, Captain Kidd. That's Captain Jonathan Kidd. Okay. To the left of him is Erica Lane, scientist biologist. But to the left of her is Busby Birdwell. He's the resident, tech geek guy who built the Voyager ship.
Which is basically Lost in Space. If you look at it, it's the Lost in Space crew.
It's similar. And then you got minus the kids. And then you got Guru, who's like a mystic, friend of the government guys. So he's in there too. And these four would go on these amazing adventures, shrinking down in the Voyager spaceship. Which was very cool. I mean, as a little kid, we're like, oh, wow. And they would send this ship like, into someone's body or something like that. And, all sorts of stuff. It was pretty badass. As a little kid, what's cooler than like, being in a spaceship that like shrinks down and can spy on other countries and stuff. They would do that. It's great stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, it was a cool, again, that hour, Fantastic Voyage and Journey to the Center of the Earth was the American version of, we would watch Battle of the Planets and Star Blazers.
Yeah.
And then Force 5 when that came out. So there was like 90 minutes worth of that, Toei animation stuff, which was great.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you had, the other side of the coin I mentioned was Journey to the Center of the Earth. Which you had Professor Oliver Lindenbrook, my niece Cindy, student Alec.
Yes, Alec, who didn't have any designs on Cindy at all.
Yeah, not at all. Right. Our guide Lars.
Yeah.
And his duck Gertrude, who in the movie got cooked but not in the cartoon.
Because cartoon.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they were running in a race to get to the center of the Earth, dissuaded by the evil Count Saknussemm, who wanted to find the city of Atlantis for his own evil machinations.
Count Saknussemm.
Yeah, and hold on, let me find his dickish manservant Tor. You got to see that. Look how evil he is. I mean, with the flames going around his face. Beep, beep, beep. You'd really get the center of the mirth. Yeah, you would enjoy this more if you saw the cartoon. If you didn't see the cartoon, they were really good cartoons. They really were. Oh, look at this. Here's this evil manservant Tor.
Okay?
Yeah. His brutish evil manservant Tor. Look at the face on that. He's like David Crosby. Look at that guy. Compare him to David Crosby.
They basically took a gorilla. They took a gorilla and made it white.
That voyage doesn't sound so fantastic at all.
Meh.
Meh, meh. Yeah, so there you go. So that's Filmation. I think those were made in the 60s, I think. I just saw them later on in reruns, but they were just great. They were just great. I think 68 probably.
Yeah, they were
They were like right at the beginning of Filmation.
But what's interesting is that they were never Saturday morning cartoons for me. They were always the weekday afternoon UHF station cartoons. Like they weren't good enough to make the Saturday morning lineup, but they were good enough to be the late afternoon, between 3 and 6 o'clock lineup, weekday afternoons.
I think for me, they were on Sundays because they were too old to be Saturday morning, because they came out years before. And then weekdays, I don't think they played them on weekdays for me. I think in New York, they were like those Sunday cartoons that you find on like Channel 9 or,
right, yeah,
from New York. But no, and this is the company, by the way, animation company that brought you later on, Fat Albert and Tarzan and Batman and the Lone Ranger. And eventually their big moneymaker was He-Man. They did the He-Man Masters of the Universe, She-Ra. So that's where they kind of finished their big run on.
But it's funny because their animation was fairly rudimentary and yet memorable.
Very, very memorable. And look at the top there. I used to be friends with him. God bless him. Rest in peace. The great Lou Scheimer. He basically brought all those cartoons to life. I mean, he used to do the voices of a lot of them too. He used to be Batmite in the Batman animation. He used to do Orko in He-Man. And I'll tell you one thing. He brought back the best version of Flash Gordon to this day, like as a total serious cartoon. Flash Gordon 1979 Filmation is like the most serious version, true to the original imagining of Flash Gordon with the ships and the different worlds and characters. It was like the best thing in the world. And I asked him, because he asked me one day, he's like, what's your favorite cartoon I've ever done? I said, well, there's a lot of them, but Flash Gordon was like the best one. And he said, good man, because that was my labor of love. That was like, if I had died right after that, I would have been happy. That was my total labor of love. Because as a kid in the 1930s, he read the Flash Gordon comic strips. And, he just loved it so much that he wanted to do a Flash Gordon movie. And a lot of you don't know this, but the Flash Gordon movie that Dino De Laurentiis did. Well, that was basically originally Dino De Laurentiis and Lou Scheimer of Filmation. And they got in a fight because one wanted to do it animated and serious, and one wanted to do it kind of campy. So he said, well, you know what? Let's break apart our partnership. You do your campy film with music by Queen that you all know. It's fun. And I'll do an animated version and air it on television. And in this animated version, this aired once on television, on network television, and it was never seen again. The original Flash Gordon animated movie in 1979 had Ming the Merciless, the visitor, the evil guy in space, basically influencing Adolf Hitler in World War II. So like in World War II, in the cartoon.
So it was a comedy.
Yeah, right. On TV, you had an animated Flash Gordon movie, and it's basically Hitler and how he gets the technology for those V2 missiles is from Ming the Merciless. So it was set in World War II, and then it goes to the planet Mongo and becomes a series that the series minus Hitler appeared on Saturday mornings and was a big hit.
Are you trying to say Hitler wouldn't have played well with the kids on Saturday mornings?
Come on, everybody!
Let us take over the world. The galaxy is now mine, not just the world.
What do you think we should do tonight, Adolf? Same thing as every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world!
We will take over the universe!
Enough! Yeah, so there you go.
This Flash Gordon man, he has blonde hair and blue eyes.
We could team with him. He's okay.
We could work with this guy.
Okay. He's okay.
Look at this Sam Jones guy. He looks exactly like we would want him to do.
I like this song und Flash.
Flash looks like he could be the final solution for all of us.
He will save every one of us.
Flash, he's a savior of the universe.
Oh boy!
And I've seen that movie. I've seen.
That one you've seen.
That one you've seen. Johnny's there with his Thunder Buddy and his Thunder Buddy Ted, and they're curled up watching Flash Gordon.
You know what though? How great is Sam Jones in that movie? He's fucking great. Cameo is hilarious in that.
No,
you guys want to go do some blow?
No lie. On the other side of this camera, right there, is the Flash Gordon movie poster on my wall. It's right there.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. No shit. Look. Right there. You see that?
Oh, I had no surprise. I'm not shocked to hear that.
There it is.
Oh.
Well, that house is just a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, there's everything everywhere.
Oh my god!
I almost saw the blow up doll.
Couldn't even see the floor.
Yeah, no, it's
you do realize someone's screenshotting that.
It's under there. It's under.
Nobody screenshot that, man.
Yeah,
That was,
wow. There's nothing to see. Just piles of shit.
That's edited. That's going to be
Look
edited.
what it is. There's boxes and boxes of comic books over there that I'm sorting out during the pandemic.
By the way, Brian Spalding asks if anybody's seen the porn version, Flesh Gordon. I have.
Yes.
I saw it with. It was a double feature: Barbarella and Flesh Gordon at the Neponset Twin Drive-In in Neponset, Massachusetts, which is it's a little area between Dorchester and Quincy, Massachusetts. Anybody that's in the Boston area will remember the Neponset Drive-In. What a shithole. My father took me to see Barbarella and Flesh Gordon. True story.
Good father, man.
Yeah. Well, I think he was looking to get laid. He probably had his, he wanted me to watch something on the screen while he was getting a handy in the back or something. I'm not sure.
Janice says she looked away. What did I miss? You miss a flash. You missed
it was a flash. Ah! Ah! Yeah, Wayno's a fireman. He's already ready to go to your house.
Yeah, and comic books are made of paper. So there's about 20 long boxes of comic books over there right now with stacks and stacks of comic books looking to be filed. All of them are flammable. It's all paper, man. It's all flammable.
By the way, again, to follow up with Brian Spalding, the Flesh Gordon porno, Flash Gordon's spaceship was a giant cock.
Yeah, no lie.
It was a giant.
Google that. See,
yeah.
See this.
It was a giant cock flying through the universe. It was hilarious. And the death ray,
Flesh Gordon,
and Google's and Ming's death ray caused people's clothes to disappear.
Where can I buy one of those?
I'm not lying. That's the truth. Remember Ming's flesh? He would fire the weapon and it would hit the spaceship, and all of a sudden, and it was a horrible edit. Like it was a stutter edit, like a cut to all of a sudden nobody had clothes on.
It was like Sid and Marty Krofft,
It was even cheaper than that.
How did we get here?
It was even cheaper than that, man. Fucking
it's like
Sigmund and the Sea Monsters had better special effects than Flesh Gordon.
Like you had hey, what's that noise? Oh, we're nude.
Flesh Gordon.
Johnny, did you find it?
Huh? No.
Oh,
no, I'm doing something else.
Show. Johnny's not even in the show. Johnny.
I'm over watching Mitch shows right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's leaving thumbs up on other YouTube videos right now.
Why is he on somebody else's show?
By the way, if you're having fun
competing with us,
please leave a thumbs up. Yeah, please leave a thumbs up because it doesn't cost you anything and it lets us feel appreciated.
So John tapped out of our own fucking show.
Yeah, I like that.
Traitorous prick.
Johnny, this is your channel.
What the fuck?
He
figures he's not going to get a word in for the next 3 hours anyway. He might as well watch some TV.
Johnny's always saying, I always feel left out. Now's your chance.
I'm trying to rewind back to see your room, as I'm trying to do.
Jesus Christ.
No, forget it.
Yeah, just
Forget it, John.
just Google Flesh Gordon for me.
You watch the other show. That's fine.
Yeah. Johnny's right now watching Golden Girls. He's like,
Whoa, Blossom is on.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Yeah, I was rubbing one out to this girl. I love Betty White. Yeah, and you saw
Still,
her,
in that picture, still would.
and in this
that picture, still would.
and in this picture, well, there's other photos. She looks good, and just trust me on that. And just, Johnny, did you find that yet? Flesh Gordon.
He's not doing it.
All right, I'm gonna Google it real quick, just for our audience.
It's not going to matter
because the audience matters to us, Paul.
Does it?
Well, yeah.
Okay, just checking. I want to make sure.
See, I think we do. Let's see.
Yeah.
Flesh. As long as they keep coming, we'll make them laugh.
By the way, who the fuck is Mitch, and why is he on during us?
Yeah. I don't know where
he thought we were on an hour later. I think.
I like Mitch. I just
who is Mitch?
He's he's just he's someone who's watched the show before, and
Sandra.
It's not Mitch LaFon, is it?
I don't know what's his last name.
Is it Mitch LaFon?
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh,
you know him?
Yeah. Mitch is the Canadian version of Johnny Beane. He lives in front of his camera.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mitch is actually a very good Canadian music journalist who gets great interviews. He is our level nerd, but he has done a great job and carved out a nice little name for himself as an interviewer.
Okay, this is Dr. What is it? Manny Jerkoff's rocket.
Yep, there you go.
There it is.
Yep, there's Flesh Gordon's rocket right there. It's fucking awesome.
Is that great?
It's the SS Peter North.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more fun than that.
That's like that thing in that 3PO card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
that C3PO
exactly,
Star Wars card. Oh dear, I've got a big dong. I've got a dong.
I'm very fluent in several positions.
R2, do you? D2?
Yes, there is a Canadian half-ass version of the Johnny Beane show. It's very soft-spoken.
Oh, that one.
It's a very
that's something else.
Very soft-spoken show.
Yeah, and for those of you that saw my bedroom floor, Mitch Heyman, thank you, Mitch Heyman.
I'm trying to find it. And Sandra, give us a shout out over there. I see you over there.
We're watching you.
Sandra doesn't give me shout outs anymore. She doesn't like me anymore.
We're watching you. Sandra likes everyone.
Somebody send me a screenshot of John's floor because I'm trying to find it. But the show.
By the way, you're the guy 15 minutes ago who said don't screenshot that. Now,
yeah, thanks.
You and I both know Cobra Kai Platoon is already coloring it in. He's already inserting us in as small as Fantastic Voyage characters traversing the landscape of John's of the wasteland that is
we're all in the ship flying over. What's this?
I'm waiting for Gertrude the Goose to be on the top of the pile of shit. You and I both know Cobra Kai Platoon has the capability to make this happen.
And there he is. Right now, there he is.
He's working on it now.
Journey to the center of Mankuta's bedroom. The evil Count Saknussemm, who, like Mad Servant Thor, blew apart his organized bedroom.
I'm sorry, Cobra Kai. I'm glad I planted that little seed in your head. Enjoy the rest of your night putting that together. You bet your ass he's going to too, and it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He'll be in the Discord by midnight.
Cobra Kai Platoon wins like him and Sandra Picorni win most valuable show members of our audience. Okay, so we got that out of our systems.
Nope, you and I both know that's not going away until we see the visual.
No, and we'll probably get to it later in the show as Cobra Kai works hard on and Johnny watches the
other. Did you say Cobra Kai's hard on? Is that what you just said?
Exactly, and he'll place that strategically somewhere in the room.
Oh, I almost got it.
An erection?
That's what she said.
Oh, there we go.
Almost.
So let's see what else. What other thing?
Hang on, I got to go check on the dogs. I'll be right back.
Okay, let me let me in advance, by the way, wish my buddy Gerard Ganadin a happy birthday tomorrow. Jerry is going to be 29 again, January 13th, tomorrow. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Jerry was George Lynch's guitar tech and is an amazing guitarist in his own right. So he apes George Lynch right now perfectly. So like, you know, he's been in you know, Back for the Attack, which is like a very, very good Dokken cover band. I mean, I'm sure he hasn't done it lately because of the pandemic, but he does an amazing job. I tried to actually get in touch with Don Dokken recently to see if he was interested in bringing him on board. And you know, I don't know. Don's a weird cat. Speaking of which, of Don's in the news right now. Well, I'll wait till Paulie gets back.
What happened this time?
Oh wait, yeah, I know. No, we'll talk. We'll start it, and we'll pick up when Paulie gets back. But basically, Don was in an interview recently, and you know, they're saying, you know, hey, you know, you and George Lynch are real in demand right now, you know, on demand. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm too old to argue and fight and stuff. And it's like, well, is there any chance of you and George Lynch, you know, reuniting for an album? You reunited for, you know, 7 concerts in Japan. And he's like, no chance at all. Cause you know what? I've got Dokken, I've got me and John Levin, and we get along, and I just don't want to fight with George. And, you know, I don't want to do that anymore. But you know what? I don't care what the fuck he says in an interview. George is like on 20 different projects at once. Don is having major problems with his voice, and everyone knows it, including him, you know? And for God's sakes, you're Don, you're the one turning down George. Dude, come on, man. You need George right now more than George needs you, unfortunately. Not trying to get on you about your voice problems right now, but for real, if they offered the right amount of money, you know they would go back in the studio. You know that. I don't want to hear Don Dokken say never again, because that's what was said when those 7 concerts in Japan came out. And then they said, well, we'll pay you you know, $1 million. Oh, George, buddy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Dokken is respectfully one of the least credible acts when it comes to we're never going to work together again of their era. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, it's the Sugar Ray Leonard effect. I'm really retired this time. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm really retired. Well, okay, we're back just for this time. And what did they say? Well, I have no interest in doing any reunion shows with the original lineup because I've got a great thing going on right now with this version of Dokken. And then somebody went, well, Mr. Udo said, hey, I've got a lot of zeros. and they jump right in. And look, I don't know who's reunited more, Don Dokken with George Lynch or Oni Logan with George Lynch. I mean, it's just, and don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing it, but you've got no credibility when you say, oh, we'll never work together again. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah, You'll do it. And by the way, Don, because, and I don't mean to, I'm not going to be a dick about it, but we know his voice is diminishing. At some point, that's your only option. That's your most lucrative option.
And let me be clear, nothing against John Levin, because John Levin.
Oh, no, it's not his fault.
Awesome guy, and a major awesome player. He's a great guitar player.
John Levin's situation is a lot like Bruce Kulick. It doesn't matter.
It's nostalgia. It's about nostalgia.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you are. You might even be, you know, technically better with Don Dokken than George was. It might have been a better match as far as, you know, chemistry and stuff. But that's the one people want. People want what they want. Look, David Lee Roth and Van Halen, Aerosmith, those motherfuckers hated each other, but that's where the money is.
All about nostalgia.
That's where the money is, and people want what they want. They want the version they want. And it's going to happen to Arnel Pineda in Journey. At some point, the guys in Journey are going to be like, all right, we've lost everybody. We've got to do something. Cha-ching. And somebody will write them a fat check to do one tour. And yeah, I mean, let's face it. if Don Dokken didn't care about his legacy with George Lynch, he would never have put out those lost songs last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's
again,
really, he realizes that.
Re-recording them with let's say subpar new vocals. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, and again, not. I don't want to shit on Don because as a singer myself,
just to be fair, let me also berate George on putting out, the first Lynch Mob album redone, which was
it was awful,
subpar as well. So
it was awful. Yes, they need each other.
All made mistakes. Yeah.
When it's all said and done, there's business to be done, and the best business to be done involves Don and George working together. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's just a fact. They might make. I like Lynch Mob. I prefer Lynch Mob with Oni Logan over Don Dokken. I like that sound. I think that stuff is more fun for me to my ears. But the Don Dokken George Lynch material is the stuff that people remember. That's what they want.
And again, not trying to bash Don. So much love.
No, not at all.
And I'm friendly with George. And the fact is, George still has that ability. And Don has lost a lot of his ability.
Well, and as a singer, this is where I was going to chime in. As a vocalist, look, age takes its effect on your voice. It's a muscle. And like all muscles, they atrophy over years. Guitar players, the guitar never gets tired. As long as you stay in practice and you keep those fingers limber, and the way George plays, his fingers are limber. He's also changed his playing style. He's much less shred and much more blues and wah-wah pedal these days than he used to be. So even George was able to adjust his style to his physical limitations and still be proficient at it. It's very difficult to do that as a singer. There are very few Paul Rodgers in the world or Ronnie James Dios in the world that can still bring it 50 years into what they've been doing every year. The muscles in your throat get tired, your vocal cords get worn, and not many singers sound as good 40 years into their career as guys like Paul Rodgers do. It just doesn't happen. And Don Dokken never had a phenomenally strong voice to begin with. He had a unique voice. It was a nice tone, but he was never a Jeff Tate. He was never a Bruce Dickinson. He was always a tonal guy and not as powerful guy. I don't think he sang correctly from a physical standpoint. And now years later, he's paying the price for it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a facet of aging. It is what it is.
Yeah, and again, like I said, much love to Don. You brought up a great point about George, though. George has changed his style.
Hell yeah.
George is also a very versatile player. If you told him, hey, we're going to record a Dokken album, I don't believe he'd play in his current bluesish style. I think he would go back to, to fit the music, to fit the project.
Maybe
he would, do a little more of his old style shred.
You mean if they were to write new stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
They would have to go back and do like classic sounding stuff.
Well, look at the album Dysfunctional. When they got back together that first time, their sounded, good, solid Dokken sound.
Too High to Fly is one of my favorite Dokken songs in the entire catalog.
Love that song.
By the way, Scambot Terminator brings up, not true. King Diamond is older and so is Rob Halford. Mm-hmm. Rob Halford doesn't sing as good today as he did then. That's okay. Rob Halford at 80% is still better than 99% of his peers. He doesn't sing as well as he did back then. Still brings it, but if you'll notice, Judas Priest is tuned down at least a full step, and that's okay. Again, I don't expect a 70-year-old Rob Halford to sing like a 27-year-old Rob Halford, and neither should you.
And that's why Johnny and I don't age past 29, because we don't want to get old like that, because we just want to stay in perfect physical specimen shape. And if you look at us clearly, I mean, we're the picture of desirability in the female set. But look, as much as we love Don, and Don's made an incredible legacy of great material, the fact is he is having vocal problems, and to say
he always has. But you know what? There's a difference now. Now he's really having a problem singing.
Yeah, he may not in the past. He may not have sounded as good as he did in the studio, and a little bit grandstanding with talking to the audience back and forth, but at the end of the day, right now he's having real vocal problems.
Well, that's part of his back problem, though. To be honest with you, again, as a singer, when you sing and you project from your diaphragm and your lungs, there is pressure placed on your spine. There's a contraction, a muscular contraction in the thorax and the torso of your body, that when you're singing, it really is a physical thing. And if you've got issues, spinal issues, the ability to project and the ability to sing and the vibrations that come through your body are going to cause you pain and issues. So, and again, I'm just trying to explain it. I'm not excusing it. Don has a legitimate physical issue. Being overweight doesn't help either. All of those things are contributing to a weakness in his voice, but he does have physical issues, skeletal, musculoskeletal issues that are constricting his ability to sing. He was already limited, and now he's limited by other issues and injuries. So it's not fair to rip him apart for it.
Absolutely.
There are reasons for it.
No, the fact is, look, it takes its toll. You're a singer, you're on stage. The vibrations, not just on your back from your own diaphragm, but from the stage.
Right.
You're echoing through every night over, 40 years. It all takes its toll. Who says Tubin one in the chat says Richie Sambora's voice right now sounds better than John Bon Jovi's.
It certainly does.
Probably, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
no doubt about it.
And there's other singers we could go down the line. It's just a matter of getting old. This isn't a bash on Don, but the fact is, for Don to be so stubborn right now and absolutely put down his foot and say, no, I'm happy where I am, blah, 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 when you would have a lot of money made from an album with George, even if it's a one-time thing. I'm not saying boot out John Levin, tour with John Levin, do whatever. But at the same time, one-time project would do your reputation right now and money a lot of good. And we'd love it as fans. You know what though?
I don't know that that's true. I don't know that it would do his reputation good. I think that some cars are best left in the garage to be looked at. And maybe Don knows this. Maybe Don knows that if he gets together, there's a level of expectation that he can never achieve. Maybe he knows that. Look,
that's very possible.
Some bands do. Look, that's why Led Zeppelin have never got back together. One of the things that they did, they tried it at Live Aid. It didn't work. They tried it at the Atlantic 40th anniversary. It didn't work. They tried it. They did the first Page and Plant tour. That was okay. The second one didn't work. But every time Led Zeppelin got back together when they broke up, it was embarrassing. It was less than perfect. Then finally they did that O2 Arena show in 2007 and they got it right. Took them 4 or 5 shots to get it right, but they got one show that was about as flawless as Led Zeppelin could do at their age, and they knew better to go, we're out. We did it. Let's leave that as our defining finishing statement. And maybe Don Dokken knows that there's nothing he can do that's going to satisfy the audience, kind of like the Star Wars trilogies. There's nothing they can do to meet the expectation. And don't get me wrong, Dokken was never Motley Crue big or Def Leppard big or Bon Jovi big, but there's a certain level of proficiency that band achieved that Don is absolutely physically incapable of doing now. In the studio, you might be able to fix it and quantize it and make it work, but there's no way that they can make that thing, as good as, Under Lock and Key or as good as Back for the Attack. It's just, they're not even going to do dysfunctional good. It's impossible. So it might be the best thing in the world to let the legend exceed the reality.
Yeah, but he's still touring and still doing stuff. And it's like, this is definitely a time while they're both around that they really should. I mean, come on, those Dokken reunion shows really did well. And Randy Price
in Japan, sure.
Randy Price brings up a great point. Jeff Pilson's vocals saved on those. And absolutely. And he's not in the band anymore. He's in Foreigner now.
Well, and keep in mind,
he would have to be part of that reunion album,
Well, and that's what's been carrying Ozzy Osbourne the past couple of tours. Why do you think Zach is still with Ozzy?
Because he works to do it right. He has to read his contracts and Sharon likes that.
That's the thing was Gus G couldn't double the vocals for Ozzy and lead him through the show. Zach Wilde is essentially the musical director of the Ozzy Osbourne band. And when they go out on shows, Zach pretty much doubles the vocals now with Ozzy, and there's another guy off stage that also doubles the vocals to make sure that they, and again, as long as you know that going into it, that's great. Don Dokken, look, Robert Mason could easily double the Don Dokken vocals.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, Robert Mason is a fantastic singer, and he is the prototypical replacement singer. You know what I mean? He's a versatile singer. He can sing just about anything in just about any key. He doesn't really have much of a personality of his own as a vocalist. His voice sounds great, but it's not very unique, which is a good thing because it gives him an opportunity to keep working. So he could easily go in there and help make those Dokken records sound good. He made a lot of bands sound good. Robert Mason is a silent assassin who has done a very good job of making a lot of bands sound better than they really do.
And someone brought up the Don Dokken solo stuff. Yeah, it was absolutely terrific. You had Norum in there.
John Norum, sure.
And that was a really good album. But again, this is back in the day when Don was, what was it, 1989 or 90, something like that. I mean,
so he still had something going.
Yeah. And again, not bashing on Don, blah, blah, blah.
That was a long time ago.
Exactly.
Right?
It is. That's
when Lynch Mob first came out at the same time as well.
It's 30 years ago, man.
You're comparing a 65-year-old to a 35-year-old.
It's not the same.
You're comparing a grandkid to a grandpa.
Yeah, it's not the same at all. Your voice doesn't. Again, very few people age like Dio and age like Paul Rogers, who, by the way, near the end, but Paul Rogers is still with us. They still don't sound as good as they did. You just can't.
Well, hold on.
But they still sound fantastic.
Gotta disagree. I've seen Dio recently, and he sounds awesome. I mean, just like he used to. He even looks like he used to, just colorful in a weird way. But
it's a smokier arena these times. He's not quite as. I don't know if my vision is going. Look, we're all getting older, so I don't see him in quite the detail that I used to see.
Yeah, I also can't afford front row seats anymore. But
Brian Johnson sounds as good as Brian Johnson can sound, but he doesn't sound like Brian Johnson in 1983.
Right.
Scanbot Terminator brings it up.
He sounds closer though.
Yeah, he sounds as good as he can sound. None of us are what we were 30 years ago. None of us. It just is. That's a fact.
Nobody.
Very few guys are like Les Paul. Les Paul was still great into his 90s.
But again, here was a guy, he was playing. And another thing that made Dokken was the idea that, the songs were terrific and catchy, but you had one of the era's greatest guitar heroes in the band.
Yeah.
I mean, that's him and Jakey Lee and Warren D. Martini. I mean, these guys made their bands, and at the time, that was the thing. That's what brought all the kids to the stadium.
Jesus rapes me. The Doobie Brothers still sound like the original record. That's because they're sampling vocals. That's because those are the
grandkids of the actual Doobie Brothers.
And how many of you all think that we all still sound like Kiss?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult for a lot of those bands. The Eagles sound great from harmony. Their harmonies are as good as you can expect guys that have been doing this for 50 years to sound.
Yeah, but there's like what, 8 of them?
Yeah. But
you have a whole chorus.
But you've got guys like Timothy B. Schmidt, who's got an amazing voice. He's like Michael Anthony. He's got this very distinctive high harmony voice that makes anybody that he sings with sound better. And
speaking of Michael Anthony, he's never aged vocally or musically.
He still sounds fantastic.
He's
identical because we see him. I see him all the time, at the NAMM show.
Him and Sammy Hagar both. How the fuck does Sammy Hagar stay so young? But both him and Michael Anthony have stayed totally.
Well,
young.
they've dropped Sammy. They've dropped the key for the circle is down at least a step, if not a step and a half, for just to try and help Sammy with his voice because he's getting tired too. At 72, the son of a bitch doesn't sound as good as he did 40 years ago. How about that?
Looks amazing.
He looks fantastic. He's doing a great job. And again, our favorite rock stars are in their fucking 70s now. What do we expect them to be? Yeah. I mean, realistic expectations here. It's it's as much as we want to say it, rock has always been a young man's game.
Mm-hmm.
And it will remain a young man's game. It is what it is. So unless there's another Van Halen or another Dokken or another, it ain't Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
I've never heard them. I've never heard them. That's good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably good. Other than
Listen to Kingdom Come, and you've heard them.
yeah, Rival Sons are fantastic, but people don't, you know.
But look, with that said, all three of us, I think, would right now kill for the ability to see a live Dokken show, a
Sure.
live Motley Crue show,
Sure.
a live Bon Jovi show. I mean, these are still bands we would still pay money to see because I'll cling on to them until they're dead. I'd rather have a subpar vocal performance in a show and see them again than just, hey, we've decided to retire. Same with, with that. Brought to you by Burp Energy, Bang Energy Drink. Thank you, Bang. Yeah.
Well, come on, Renus. Let's not be ridiculous here. Renus Pinkel said I would kill to see Vinnie Vincent in concert. I'm that desperate. No, nobody's that desperate.
Well, no, look,
never,
I would love to see Vinny. Vinny appeared with, some real vocalists and
never
Mark and Dana, which he won't, and
never go full Vinnie Vincent.
If the potato salad was fresh and he made it,
John Mahoney brings up a great point. Mick Jagger, who was never a fantastic singer to begin with, is still great. The Stones, I've mentioned this before, the last Stone show.
Oh yeah.
That they came through town, and it's been a couple of years now, was fucking outstanding. I went to that show expecting to see a bunch of 70-somethings who couldn't bring it, and oh my God, were they good. They were, and Ann Wilson, great, not what she was, still great. There's a difference between what they were in their peak and what they are today. What they are today is still great. We're not saying they're not amazing. Some of these guys now, Don Dokken, not amazing. Don Dokken is truly struggling with his voice.
I'd still see the show because Levin.
Oh, it'd be fun.
Bars and
Gene Simmons does still sing, although he does sound a little more tired, especially if you watched the show, the Dubai show. Boy,
I am so tired.
He's struggling, but he's fucking 70.
And God bless the members of Kiss. God.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, why is it so bad for us to acknowledge that we're getting older? Yeah.
It's not because we'll still see them because nobody's replacing them. There are heroes musically, and I want to see them. You guys do too.
McCartney was great live. Again, another guy who in his 70s has redefined himself. And by the way, even if Paul McCartney sucked live, I'd go see him because he's the greatest living rock star on the planet.
Beatle.
He's fucking Paul McCartney. Here's what Paul McCartney did in his, it had to be late 60s, early 70s. He walked into a room with Chris Novoselic, Dave Grohl, and Pat Smear, who were recording a song. And he said, I've got an idea. Do you think maybe we could do something a little differently? And they did it differently and won a goddamn Grammy because he's Paul fucking McCartney and everything he does is platinum. He's so good.
He's the best. I mean,
yes.
Come on.
And James Stewart brings up a good point. If a guy performs at 70 like Gene Simmons, more power to him. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And these guys aren't just playing music or singing. They're running around in platforms with 40 pounds of gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Swinging around, there's my old Jew.
Look at Angus Young. It's not so much that Angus Young is fucking so good at guitar. It's that Angus Young is so good at guitar and he runs around like that for fucking 2 hours every night.
Hopping on one foot. Meanwhile,
insane.
Guys his age are sitting there with walkers with tennis balls. Oh, yeah, he can play guitar.
No. I mean, you got guys like that. And again, for those that have never done it, you don't know. If you've never been on stage and tried to sing like that for 2 hours a night, 4 nights a week for 8 months.
Yeah, think about that.
Doing that in your 20s, is tough enough.
A night.
Yeah.
2 hours a night.
2 hours a night, 4 nights a week. Fuck that.
Yeah. We're not talking, you guys at home, we were like, I went to the karaoke bar, man. I blew out 2 songs. Whoa, that took its toll. 2 fucking hours. And you're running around and there's pyro, you breathe it in and, all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Iron Maiden are fantastic every show, but if you've ever been backstage at an Iron Maiden show, they basically have a fucking med tent set up backstage. They've got, exercise equipment, and they've got IVs, and they've got a staff doctor. They've got masseuses and massage therapists, and they wear ace bandages and knee braces.
They're doing drive-up COVID tests backstage right now. There's a line of cars around the stadium.
No, those bands are traveling medical units. And by the way, that's smart.
Absolutely.
They're smart to have a doctor on staff. They're smart to have physical therapists as part of the tour.
They've got their own tour jet that he flies.
Yeah.
It's like
they have,
a little money.
If you go backstage at an Iron Maiden show, it's like going into a Planet Fitness. They've got exercise bikes. They've got rowing machines. They've got things to keep them loose and stretched, and they warm up for like an hour before the show so that they can move. That shit doesn't happen organically. It's not like the Bruce Dickinson gets off the bus, grabs the mic, and runs on stage. Those guys spend I watched Paul Stanley in full makeup doing he had his leg up against the wall and was doing like head to the knee stretches and shit like that before their show here in Phoenix. It's insane the amount of work that those guys put in to make those shows good. They deserve every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Fruitcake Tony says, is it show and tell time yet? No,
dude, 20 minutes away from that.
Yeah, you got a little wait there, buddy. You're like the little kid at the dinner table. And, is it dinner time? Yeah, Mom, I'm making the dinner. I'm still cooking.
Scambot Terminator says, is it easier for harsh singing metal singers to sustain a career or a sweet voice singer? Sweet voice singer. The more gravelly tone you put on your voice, the more damage you're doing to your vocal cords.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And hey, Zach Thong, welcome.
I don't know though. Hey Zach, I think if you're the Cookie Monster singer, no one will notice when your voice craps out because it just naturally starts doing that.
It's not hard.
You don't even realize how sad.
But it's way more damaging to your voice to sing like that.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, so for people that don't know, the physical activity of singing
like that.
Yeah, you've got your vocal cords, all right? Your vocal cords, when you're singing it, as your vocal cords change pitch, they constrict and air flows through them, and they vibrate. They vibrate next to each other, and the more aggressive and gruff your voice is, the more vibration. Well, when you're doing this vibration, it creates scar tissue, and that scar tissue eventually creates polyps, and then creates vocal cording, which is what guys like Ian Gillan and Tom Kiefer and Brian Johnson and Axl Rose and David Lee Roth. That's when you get a semitone, a second semitone, because you've got scar tissue between the top and bottom portions of your vocal cords, and you get two different tones broken up by buildup, by scar buildup on your vocal. It's not good for you. To just a long story short, it's not good for you, which is why guys like Tom Kiefer and Brian Johnson and Axl Rose and Steven Tyler at one point had real issues with their voices.
That's a great image.
Oh, me so hungry for cookie. Oh.
Cobra Kai Platoon makes a good point. Paul McCartney puts his pants on just like the rest of us, one leg at a time, except once his pants are on, he makes gold records.
Yeah, no, he is the greatest living
man.
He is our greatest living musician.
Nah, he has somebody putting his pants on for him.
Yes.
I Paul
the royal penis is clean.
I would love you to take a Q-tip around the circumference of my head first. Yeah, let's see. Hey, Lenny, Lou, and Mary. Taylor 315 wants to know, have we, I don't know why he only asks you, because I have you ever met John Sykes and or Vivian Campbell? And what's your opinion on them as guitarists? You want to go first, Paulie?
I think they're both fantastic guitar players.
Have you ever met them?
I met Vivian. He was a pleasant fellow, but we only spoke briefly. I've never met John, but his legend certainly precedes him as being somewhat difficult to deal with.
Okay. I have met Vivian. He can come off a little gruff. I guess you just got to read, catch him on the right day or whatever. But I could see where some people would judge him like that. I mean, he was okay to me, but I could see where he's a little colder, not super warm, at least when I met him. Incredible guitarist.
Yeah, they're both great guitar players.
You know, phenomenal. Sykes, same thing Paulie said. I never met him, but I know his reputation, but I also know how much I love his work.
Yep.
Like big time. And
yeah, I'm a big John Sykes fan as well.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and if you really want to listen to some cool Vivian music that you don't get a chance to hear, River Dogs, the River Dogs records are good. And what was the band he did with Lou Gramm?
Dio.
No, I have it here somewhere, and I can't remember the name of the band.
Man.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I have it here too, and I can't.
Johnny, have you ever met them? Vivian Campbell or John Sykes?
No, but
none of them have ever belted you in NAMM in the hallway like Phil Collin did.
No, but John Sykes did follow my page.
Oh, Shadow King is the band I'm thinking of. Sorry.
There you go.
Thank you, Bob the Goon.
Thank you, Bob the Goon.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob the Goon.
So technically, he could be watching us right now because he liked my Facebook page.
Who, John?
John Sykes. Yeah,
I'm a huge John Sykes fan.
We both are. We've talked about him a lot on the show.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about both of them on the show actually a bunch of times. Speaking of great guitarists, did I mention Jay Hannon of the great band Gizmachi has a new song that you should check out. There is a link right in the chat right now. And it's a very, very cool song. There it is. So check that out. And of course, brought to you by Bang Energy Drink. And Jay likes nothing more than a good Swiss pick. Does Jay play Swiss picks at all? I don't even know if he has one. We got to get him some.
No, I don't think he ever got any.
Yeah, we got to get him some. These are great, by the way. If you don't play a Swiss pick right now, Swiss Picks, one of the sponsors of the show. Great grip.
No,
you will never go back to anything.
I put mine in the guitar room.
That's all right. We're good. We got enough covered. just wanted to mention.
Yeah, I cleaned up my desk. You weren't watching Saturday night, or maybe you were. But Ace, who likes to get up on my lap like you just saw, he has a tendency when he gets up on my lap to grab this cord and knock and pull it out of my monitoring system. Well, he did that on Saturday and he knocked over a Pepsi, which is why you notice I'm drinking bottled water with the cap on it. He knocked it over and there was just shit everywhere. So I cleaned everything up and moved the Swiss picks into the other room.
Scambot Terminators from Wisconsin. Yeah, it's a cheese pick, man. This one's blue cheese. Look at that.
Yeah, the Jason Becker.
The Jason Becker edition, baby. Of course, I have pink. I got all these. I love these. I play these exclusively. These are awesome. Yeah, and as you can clearly see, Paulie, Saturday I also cleaned my area.
Clearly, yes, yeah.
Yes, clearly. So piles of comic books.
Jay Hannon keeps laughing at that part too.
Oh, what? But yeah, that's because I know this will shock people, but I'm an improv guy. And one of the jokes was that I was like, "Oh my God, I've got nothing here to clean it up because my sock is in the washing machine.
My crusty sock is under the
sock.
bed." Oh, no.
Well, that's a Jay Hannon joke. The Jay is like, "Hey, Pauls, where's your sock next to the it's off the camera." I'm like, "What is he talking?" Oh, I know what he means. No, I don't do that in this room.
I do it in that room, but Paulie's not home, so don't tell him.
Ever since Saturday, Jay Hannon has been
just laughing at that.
What happens is something insane will happen on a Saturday, and then Jay Hannon will watch it over and over and over, and he'll message.
He's high as fuck.
We'll get messages like the rest of up until the whole rest of the week. Like, oh, this is so funny, so funny. He'll slow it down. He'll speed it up.
He did that.
Well, that's what happens when you're a production guy.
When Paul was having the distortion problem on his mic. Remember he was talking about it on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's the sock.
Yeah, whatever. Look, hey, I'm here to amuse.
What am I here to amuse you? I'm funny. Funny how?
Funny how? Like a fucking clown to amuse you? I amuse you? No,
Janice,
Anthony,
where are you going?
No, Anthony, he's a big boy. He knows what he said.
No. I'm just, you're funny. You know.
No. Funny how? Funny how? Like a clown? I amuse you?
Oh, you make people laugh and stuff.
No, Henry, fucking, what is he saying? Funny how?
you're and people like you.
I love that's my favorite scene in the whole movie because when he turns and he looks and he goes, no, Anthony, he's a big boy. That's what he said. Funny how.
Yeah. And you didn't know when you first saw it that first time. You didn't know if he was like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him."
And then the pause and Tommy, get the fuck out of here.
Look at him.
I had you, Henry. I don't know about you. You might fold on the questioning.
That movie, greatest gangster movie of all time.
It's
better than The Godfather. Sorry,
I'll have to watch it.
Goodfellas is better than The Godfather.
I like
John Biel.
Man. Hey, John Biel. How are you, brother?
John Biel, let's watch Goodfellas in the Discord.
Goodfellas is awesome. It's a fucking fantastic movie.
You know what's really funny? Even Mama Mancuda watches Goodfellas, and she's always like, "Oh, I don't like movies with violence and explosions." And your father likes that. I don't like movies like that. But I call her, and she's like, "I'm watching Goodfellas. It's so good." I'm like, "Wait a minute, that movie says fuck every other minute."
Yeah.
And you're always talking about my mouth. Well, this is a movie. Well, I've done movies. You don't like it when I say it? Well, they get paid more. And and then
point of contention in Goodfellas, Lorraine Bracco's legs in Goodfellas. Oh my God.
Whole different world, right?
Yeah, oh Jesus. So good. Yeah, David Shea likes to say Godfather Part 2 of a Goodfellas. Godfather Part 2, too long. Great. Too long, and two different movies. I mean, I'll give credit where credit is due. Godfather 2 is a great story, but Goodfellas,
the first two Godfathers were amazing.
But Goodfellas flows quicker. It seems more. I get more invested in Goodfellas too because it seems more real. Goodfellas, excuse me. Goodfellas because it seems more real. Godfather 2 just doesn't seem like it happened.
On this, the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yes, Jesus raised me. You touch her again, you're dead. When he goes out and he pistol whips the shit out of the kid. What do you want, fucko? Just whips the shit. I know, man. Most women would have told him, would have broke up with him right there. But I got to tell you, it turned me on.
Yeah, Cheech, I mentioned Casino too. I also love Casino.
I loved Casino when it was called Goodfellas. It was very, very similar. And again, Casino, another situation where it was a little long. But again, a great movie. Casino was a great movie.
That stuff for like 20 hours straight.
Yeah, Casino was great. I mean, I love Don Rickles in it because he's quiet. He's quiet, but what an asshole.
Talk about a great role for him that you never
perfect. Perfect. Don Rickles was fantastic in Casino.
Yeah, I love Mom. And again, I don't understand how my mother, she can't watch, like, no matter what it is. Oh, they were shooting. I don't want to watch that before bed. It makes me nervous, gets me scared. And yet she'd turn on you. Yeah, no, I loved where they took the saw and they were going to cut his fucking fingers off. I was like, dude, mom, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean.
And the car blew up, and his wife blew up in the car. That was nice.
Yeah, David Shea is right though. Casino is all right, but it's not as good as Goodfellas or The Godfather.
It's up there. I mean, Goodfellas is better.
The problem is it came after Goodfellas and The Godfather, so you had an expectation that it would be as good, and it just isn't. It's good. It's not as good.
I think it's just about as good, but yeah, Goodfellas and Godfather, I'd say are tied. And like you said, two very different movies. One's a little slower moving, and the other's like a little more, edgier seat.
Yeah,
it's so good, so good.
Yeah, Goodfellas was. I mean, Jesus, everything about that movie was good.
And again,
now I got to turn my back on you.
You could just watch some of those like 100 times and never get sick of it.
Well, Goodfellas is one of those movies. There are a couple of movies like that. Goodfellas, Shawshank, The Green Mile, Midnight Run, Blues Brothers, Animal House, Ferris Bueller.
There's a lot of movies like that.
If you're flipping through the cable channel or the satellite dish, and you see one of those movies come up, you just go, "I'm done," and you put the remote down. Doesn't matter where it is in the movie, you catch it. And you're there. It's one of those things that, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to flip anymore. If you're channel flipping and you catch one of those movies, you're in.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in America, James Gunn brings up. Yeah, I mean, again, it's
Heat,
when you
fantastic movie.
when you have De Niro and or Pacino. I
Yeah.
mean, these guys, I know they're versatile actors, but in that genre, they're like a one-trick pony. But it's the best trick in the world.
Yeah.
It's like if you saw a unicorn levitating, you'd be watching. You'd say, I've seen this before. It's a unicorn levitating. I want to see that every time he does that. I'd be sitting there. How the fuck does he do that? Holy
Yeah, John. Yeah, I mean, you got guys like Harvey Keitel. He's a one-trick actor, but the trick is really good.
It's a great trick.
Yeah, Joe Pesci is like that. Joe Pesci is the same in every fucking movie. It's a great trick.
Eugene Levy.
If you're looking for a guy to do that, James Cromwell. James Cromwell is always going to be that guy, and it's great. And and again, if you've got one hit, if you're a home run hitter, hit fucking home runs. That's what you do. Nobody wants to see home run hitters leg out a double. Hit fucking home runs. That's what if that's what Joe Pesci is, then he should be Joe Pesci.
Yeah, and it's like what's his name that played the father on the Brady Bunch. He was always like, "This is beneath me. I'm a classical trained actor." It's like, shut up. You're making a check. Be Mike Brady.
Well, that's what I
Mike
mean.
Brady.
That's why guys why I love guys like Patrick Stewart and and what's his name Ben Kingsley. I mean, these are guys that will do anything. They don't give a shit.
Trained Shakespearean actors,
because a badass doesn't have to prove that they're a badass every time. People like Meryl Streep will do a fucked up movie role because she's Meryl fucking Streep. She can do whatever she wants.
She'll win an Oscar for whatever she does.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of Ben Kingsley and Patrick Stewart. You look at this movie and you go, why the fuck is Patrick Stewart doing this piece of shit? And you go, because he wanted to, because it was fun.
You like the script.
Can you imagine being a producer and you write a piece of shit movie and you're like, all right, who wants to read for this role?
I would like to check this out.
Who? What? Walken? Yeah, Ken, I want to do this movie. I will take your script and hold it in my ass. I'll be damned. If any of those guys, like, I just can't imagine being a producer and getting the phone call from the guy going, who is this? Creative artist, CAA, yeah. Mm-hmm. Clooney.
He wants to be Batman?
Clooney? All right, well, I suppose you do. George, you're reading for the part that Jim Varney made popular in Ernest Goes to Camp. He wants to. It's fucking ridiculous to me that those guys can do that.
No, and that's the beautiful thing. It's like,
love the Patrick Stewart Uber Eats commercials.
Oh, they're great. They're
fucking
great.
outstanding.
With
him and Mark Hamill. That's so good.
It's hilarious.
I love the Johnny, whatever that kid's last name is, Johnny something or other. That's like the YouTube influencer that does the ones with Simone Biles when he's flaming gay and he's got like her leotard on.
I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, the Simone Biles ones are fucking hilarious.
I love her. I have a thing for Simone's. Well, my ex-girlfriend's name was Simone, and that was the love of my life. So, and then you got Simone Biles, who's just such a cutie,
Scambot Terminator. I'd love to see Christopher Walken play Batman. Well, I'm Batman. Christopher Walken saved The Rundown for me. He was great in The Rundown.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart wants to play Batman. Because I am Batman.
Make it so.
Robin, make it so.
He, by the way, has anybody played Shatner in a while? You know the game Shatner. I saw somebody put it up on social media. I'm like, oh my God, do people still play Shatner?
What was the game? I don't
Shatner
know.
is when you're at a party somewhere or whatever you're doing, or you're at work or something, and somebody yells, Shatner! And you have to overact what you're doing at the moment.
That's fun.
So, you
have to do it as William Shatner, though?
Yeah. So, like, if I was just taking a sip and you were to go Shatner, I'd be like,
that's the most delicious water I've had in years. Who
believe
brought me
this
this
water? Why?
You know,
my Shatner becomes Jerry Seinfeld very quick. Why am I drinking this water? This water is cold. It's cold and it's wet. What is the deal with plastic water? Why do we have plastic and water?
where are all these Romulan warbirds coming from?
What I don't understand is they've got a cure for every disease. You just take this thing, you put it over one, and yet people are still bald.
Well, you know, it's not easy being named after, you know, a starship weapon. You mean like Roton Flopledo?
Uvula?
Oh, phasers! Yeah, no, we used to do a Star Trek drinking game years back, and it was really fun. You just turn on an episode of Star Trek, and anytime Kirk went after a girl, you take a drink. Anytime Kirk got in a fight, you take a drink. And when they played that fight music, one of two songs, or that other one. And if, God forbid, Kirk threw like a flying kick into someone's chest, then you 2 shots right there. I mean, that's it. Star Trek drinking game.
Yeah, Shatner. I can't believe people still played Shatner. I was like, holy shit. That was an early game. That was a fun game.
That's a fun game for sure.
Yeah. You do that with all your actor friends. Just somebody goes, Shatner.
I never heard of that. I mean, I love it.
That's
but
great.
Speaking of which, Mike Brady, I brought up earlier, you know, he always wanted to play more dramatic roles. Did you guys know he was in Roots as a slave owner?
Yes.
Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, with the mustache.
I own you, Toby. Don't make me whip you. It's like, Mr. Brady, no.
Yeah. Robert Reed. There were a lot of people. There were a lot of people in Roots, though, that you kind of go, wow, why?
Honey, I think you were a little rough beating the slaves last night.
I bought Robert Reed.
Dad walks in, Toby.
I bought Robert Reed as a slave owner the same way I bought Richard Chamberlain as a shogun. All right. I know you're getting ready to do a show and tell, and I got a dog situation. It's 8:00 here. I got to tap out.
All right, kids. Too bad. I wanted to break on Shogun for a while.
Oh, I would love. All right, I'll give you 15 minutes on Shogun. Give me your best 15 minutes on Shogun.
When you first saw that, tell me you weren't dying laughing when he lays him down and he pisses on his back.
Oh, right, yeah.
Let's start with that. And he's like,
by the way, you could never. Again, another situation where you could never do that on television today.
No, absolutely not. And the other guy boiling alive. It's like, all right, so we're all in a pit. They're all trapped in a pit. And the Japanese guys say, all right, one of you prisoners, you've insulted the Shogun. One of you prisoners has to boil alive. So pick out which one. And they're all drawing straws. And it's like, all right, let's do 2 out of 3. And then, well, let's give him, Joey here. It's like Joey, meanwhile, was like cut to ribbons. He's almost dead. He's like, no, he gets an equal straw. I'd be like, yep, send him up.
Yeah, but I mean,
he died anyway.
But let's face it. If it weren't for Shogun, most Americans would never even know who Toshiro Mifune was. Between that and Midway, you know what I mean? Like that was his moment. Like in the mid '70s, his moment where all of a sudden, and he's one of like Japan's greatest actors, and we had a moment here, and you would know who Toshiro Mifune is. I think he's even in 1941 as a caricature of who he is in all these other movies. I think he's in 1941 as well. And Toshiro Mifune was amazing. And I also had my first crush on the Japanese chicken at Yoko.
Oh God,
adorable!
Wow.
Oh my God!
I'm glad you didn't say him. Oh,
I had this crush on Toranaga. Oh my God. It was the way he fell off the horse into the ravine. And I wanted to dive on him myself. It was like, what?
No, I again, that would be the Nick Gilder incident all over again. I think the chick that sings Hot Child in the City is so hot. Wait, what?
Ooh. See, the thing is, when we were kids, they would have for you youngsters there above the age of 29 that Johnny and I are, they would have miniseries on TV as like an event in the fall, or usually in the spring. Usually in the spring it was. During
spring sweeps, they would call it. And here's the thing: these miniseries like Roots and Shogun
and V.
Rich Man, Poor Man.
V. 1983, they had V. I love that so much. I literally went after the prop laser guns that they used. I own 2 of them. They're right on the shelf.
Plus,
damn.
Mandy Patinkin as the friendly V.
Oh,
and Robert Englund as Willie.
Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger played Willie. Yeah, as Diana, Jane Badler as Diana, the evil alien. You had what's his name, Beastmaster, Mark Singer, as the lead of the rebellion. I mean, this was basically a parallel of how Nazi Germany rose,
right?
History repeating itself in the form of aliens that landed and pretended to be our friends. Meanwhile, we're usurping our government and discrediting scientists and discrediting the media. And that sounds.
But here's the deal. I remember Shogun was so big. I think almost half of America watched it. It was ridiculous. It was such a cultural thing. Like
these were events.
When the news would actually start off tonight. They'd be like, "Look, tonight on the news, America will be joining us for like networks, CBS, ABC, all the local news would be like, and tonight, don't miss as America gets together for NBC's Part 3 of Shogun." It was a massive event.
Oh yeah, and make no mistake, at that same time, everyone and their mother was reading the paperback.
Right.
The paperback book. Everyone had Roots, Shogun, V, the Thornbirds. You know, whatever was the big event. And if you were a rival network to one of these miniseries, forget it. Play a fucking rerun or you're just an idiot. Like, no question. Ryan from the Midwest wants to know, where's Dave Nesdahl? In Long Island, New York right now. And hi to him.
And playing a fantastic Ibanez Destroyer replica that he's been showing on Facebook a lot. It looks great. Looks really fucking outstanding.
Really does.
Yeah.
So.
No, the truth is he couldn't take this anymore and he split. That's the truth.
He went off to do his own thing. That's all. That's all. So.
I'm the replacement. I'm the replacement Nesdahl. It turns out I'm the Dick Sargent. I'm the new Dick.
Oh, the reality is always the only one that can tolerate my bullshit. No one else wants to work with me. Everyone else is like, I don't know, man. Vancouver.
For another 3 minutes.
I got kids. Yeah, even Paulie's tapping out,
Oh,
or maybe less.
Or maybe less. All right.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Paulie. Good show, brother.
Good night. Love you. Oh, he's gone.
Well, you still love him. Just, he'll watch it later. It's still important, Dick Sargent. That's funny. Bewitched. So today's show and tell guitar. Let's get to it. Brought to you by, let's bring out a couple more sponsors that we have to chug through. Let me bring out one of my favorites. Vinum Custom Pickups. Look at that. The Mancuda Specials, baby. That's the neck pickup, at least. Mancuda Custom. This is from Vinum, Vineham Pickups. Check out Vinum Pickups website. They will make you anything, basically. These guys custom wound. Craig Vinum, custom winds, custom pickups, or you could go on their website and pick up. If you need a good PAF, he has all sorts of things there. He has all ready-made pickups they've made, but they have amazing, amazing tone and quality Vinyl custom pickups. Check them out. And Johnny,
I got to check those out.
you should. They're awesome. I'm waiting. Paulie and I were talking about this last week. I'm just waiting to get a certain white guitar down the line to put this set of pink ones in. But I've heard their tones, and they're just unbelievable, good quality stuff. Craig can make you anything. Craig can make you anything. But I'm going to get a white guitar specifically that I'm looking to put that in. And then you mentioned Tessie Switch.
Yeah,
I know you did.
Tessie Switch.
I know you did. There it is. Tessie Switch, the greatest kill switches on the market. Check out a Tessie Switch today, because those are terrific. Go to Tessie Switch's website. Let's see. Bang Energy Drink, Swiss Picks. Who else we got? We mentioned Zim's Guitars. Who else we got? We got so many. Oh, Colonel's delicious popcorn. Gourmet popcorn.
Oh, that stuff is so good.
Cheese popcorn, caramel corn, Chicago mix. They have candies and chocolates, and those chocolate cashews are insane. Go to Colonel's Popcorn, and when you do, mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon, and you will get bigger portions. How's that?
Of popcorn.
Of popcorn.
Or chocolate.
Or whatever you order. Whatever you eat, they'll give you more. So fatten up right now. Go to Colonel's. That stuff's delicious. I could go for a bucket of that stuff right now, man.
Corn balls.
Yeah. Bruce Poinsett, it says, Mancuda, buy a guitar already. I bought two since you showed those pickups the first time. I keep buying guitars. I need like either Paulie and I were talking about this, like a Gibson Les Paul Studio in like white, because I want like bright white, not the type of white that ages to yellow like Randy Rhoads. I want bright white so it stays really bright, so the pink pops. I want either one of those, or maybe I'm open to like a late 80s white Kramer Pacer, again bright white, but it depends. Either way, those specific pickups I keep on the side to promote them, and when I get that specific white guitar, I will put those in, and we'll check them out by me holding up a guitar. But they're special. That was a custom order, so those are being reserved for the moment. Anyway,
nice
Vinyl custom pickups, and Colonel's Popcorn, gourmet popcorn,
and Tessie Switch,
and Bang Energy Drink, and Zim's Guitars, and Swiss Picks, and watch Fruitcake Tony's show. Show me your pick on Saturdays. I mean, let's promote everyone. Anyone else we got? The new
Mitch
song I mentioned.
Watch Mitch Tuesdays at 8.
I love Mitch. Let's not go there. We'd rather you be here. But anyway,
well, no, they ended already. They're good. They're done.
All right. Well, then we like them now. We like them more now. I like Mitch. I'm not trying to break. I'm just pissed about the time. But anyway, watch Mitch and rerun. Watch us live. Blue Rhino says stay with us. Leave us a thumbs up, by the way, if you like today's show and tell guitar, which, by the way, coming on right now. Today's show and tell guitar, the clue I gave you guys was, and I said, this is for the comic book geeks. I held up my fist. I said, I fisted you. I said, in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might. And the next line is, someone in the chat. I know it. Do you guys know it? Beware my power. Beware my power.
Something pink.
No. Not something pink. You never read comics, did you, Johnny?
I can't read.
I don't see movies. I don't read comics. I look around the chickens. I say, what do you guys want to do today? Ned, what do you want to do today? I look at my wife. She says, let's go see a movie. Nah. Alface says, pray the Lord my soul to take. No. Okay, and I'll finish it. In brightest day, in blackest night, No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. So if you're a comic book fan like I am, and you're a big fan of Green Lantern, that was your clue. Because take a look at today's guitar. It's fucking amazing. Look at that. See if I could set that up in the light. How's that, Johnny?
Awesome.
There we go. This is, check that out. Maybe that's even better, Johnny. You good there? Johnny? Johnny, you with us? Hello, Johnny. All right, well, Johnny's off and running. Johnny's like, I'm getting a sandwich while he's playing with this fucking guitar. Okay, this is a 1980 pre-pro San Dimas Charvel. Look at that thing. This is one of the earliest Charvels made. This is right when they started in the pre-pros. This was in the first few years before they became serial numbered. This is a green Hot Rod Flames paint job. Green on green. From what I understand, talking to the original painter, they made two of these like this. One he painted and one another painter copied a year later in a single hum version. And this was painted by Charvel's first painter, Ernie Pendragon, the great Ernie Pendragon. He painted the original Charvel ad guitars. He painted basically for, I believe 2.5 years, something like that. He came up with the idea of Hot Rod Flames. He basically did this from the idea that he was a car painter. He used to paint hot rod cars. And he said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I did blue with an orange flame on a Charvel? And they started doing them in various colors. This particular one he did, it's light and dark green with gold piping. Look at the flames on that thing. Really, really cool. And then look at the back. He did a design on the back. This is basically really the best of the best Charvels. This thing is awesome. Just to give you an idea, early pre-pro, you have the small Charvel logo there and the crown head tuners that are original. This guitar is all original, by the way. You even have the early string tree there. Little string guide there. You check that out. That's the early one. And let's see. Brass strap locks there. Early DiMarzios, very early DiMarzios. This is a DiMarzio 2. And this was a, I'm sorry, let's see. Was this? No, I'm sorry, not DiMarzio. These are early Dokkens. Early Dokkens, because these are double creams before they got a cease and desist by DiMarzio to stop doing double creams, because DiMarzio owns the rights to double cream pickups. But these were pre that cease and desist order. So these are Seymour Dokkens. This is a Seymour 2, which is an early neck pickup they did. And this is an early Dokken distortion here at the bridge. That's a really early Dokken distortion in double cream. Very, very hard to find those pickups. Original brass hardware. The mini switches, the top one you have is a selector switch. The bottom one is a coil splitter down there. And you got the little brass V-trem bridge that the early Charvels had. On the back, these neck plates started out as black, and you can still see a little bit of the original black left. And as they played, that wore down to the bare metal. And look at this dirty, dirty maple neck. Look how great that is. Look at the contrast between the neck and the headstock. That's been loved. That's a lot of love on that baby. And people are like, oh, why don't you clean the dirty maple? No way, man. That's mojo. I'll clean rosewood. I'll clean ebony because it's good for the wood. Maple, you leave dirty and it's slick and smooth and broken in. Maple gets better the more you play it. You know, you don't have to clean maple. It would be a shame to waste all the sweat and oils that have soaked into this maple neck and made it as slick and buttery smooth as something like this gets. You know, you've seen those old Van Halen guitars, and it used to get really, really dirty and caked on with dirt and stuff. But if you've ever touched one, if you ever had the pleasure of, I have, slick like an oil slick. I mean, really, really great. And you see these early maple necks from the San Dimas Charvels. They had these skunk stripes. See? And then here, you'll notice the early Charvel is one of the telltale signs because these are replicated a lot, but the real ones have the 12th fret marker spaced really close together, more so than normal. And these are 20, this one in particular, but these early ones were 21 fret necks. They came out with the 22 fret neck a little later. Look at the paint on that with the gold piping. That's so cool. And basically what it was, Ernie Pendragon and I talked recently about it. And he said, look, I started Hot Rod Flames blue with orange. And then, you know, I did a couple other variations later, black with a yellow and green flame and whatever. And he said, then I did this one, green with green flames and gold piping. And then a year later, there's a famous photo in a Charvel ad that has 5 Hot Rod Flame Charvels in a row, all different colors. And there was a green on green one. And that was done by a different painter. That was basically a one humbucker copy of this original one. But this one he remembers very specifically doing. And I'm really, really, really jazzed about that. Cecil Music wants to know, John, can Vinyl Pickups get away with doing a double cream? Talk to Craig Vineham. I think he can. I believe he can because he's custom shop. So I believe he can. Talk to him. Write him on his website. Write him on Vinyl Pickups. Craig's a great guy. Makes amazing pickups. So check that out. He probably can. And if he's wrong, if wrong, I'm going to get a nasty phone call. You motherfucker! I'm going to get sued. No, you should be able to. I believe he is. And Craig's a super sweet guy. But anyway, this guitar, this is 9 pounds, a little bit over 9 pounds. So it's a really solid guitar. I'm not sure what wood it is because I don't have the factory paperwork on it, of course, but all original. These switches are all original. The pickups originally what came in it. You can tell by the solder, all the solder on the inside, exactly how they did it. But this is all original. And again, this is when they really, really did early graphics and really cared about what they look like to show off. Something like this. Cheats wants to know what could I get for that? What could I get for it? I mean, you know, they sell. I mean, they're, you know, I don't want to give specific numbers, but I mean, you know, they sell for, you know, yeah, that's the number. That's the right number. That's that much. But anyway, I love early Charvels. You've seen me bring pre-pros and early numbered Charvels onto the show. This is a favorite. I love this thing. And, you know, again, the guys that played these early Charvels, you know, obviously, you know, Eddie Van Halen you had George Lynch, and you had Warren DeMartini and CeCe DeVille when he started. And, you know, I mean, so many guys, you know, Jakey Lee had a bunch of early Charvels. All these guys, they knew what was up. This is a really, really well-made guitar. And the best thing about them are the necks. So many people have tried to copy these Charvel necks. I know BC Rich, when they got into 80s Super Strats, they modeled the Gunslinger necks to be very similar in feel because they got an old Charvel employee helping with that, to be like the Charvel necks. Slick, fast, thin, D-shaped maple, wide, flat, really, really good. Halface wants to see the bridge. This is a brass V-trem, which is the classic Charvel bridge. The bar is in the case, but there you go. And then you got the block in the back. There you go.
The bar just like pops in, right?
It's a screw in. It's one of the old fashioned. It's like a Fender bar. It's one of the old fashioned screw ins with a tip. It's got a little brass tip at the end to
Look,
get more meat on it.
Look in that. It looked like it broke off.
Broke off. It
It looked like there was something in there.
It's screwed in. I'll have to look with a flashlight later.
You said flashlight?
I take my flashlight later and I wonder how that got that way. Yeah, so that's that one. Cecil Music wants to know, do any of my BC Rich gunslingers have a Kaler? The gunslingers came basically usually with a Godot copy of a Floyd, or it's a Coochie licensed Floyd. That's what they usually came with. The guys in Warrant, a few of them ordered Kalers, but usually gunslingers come with the Floyd knockoff, unless you custom order it that way. It's very rare. But there you go. But that, boys and girls, is today's show and tell guitar. 1980 San Dimas Charvel pre-pro in green on green flames with gold piping. Really, really terrific guitar. There you go. And yeah, Halface wants to know, is the bar threaded barrel? Yes. It's a screw in. A screw in. There you go. So there you go. If Green Lantern there is the evil Count Crosby Sacknewsome and his brutish manservant Tor from Journey to the Center of the Earth. David Crosby, the evil. Charvel. Thank you, Cobra Kai platoon. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
Can't wait till Paulie sees that. He'll love that. For those that joined us late, we were talking about the Journey of the Center of the Earth and Fantastic Voyage cartoons. So thank you, Cobra Kai platoon. It's awesome. Anyway, so let's see what's the music news today besides what we've gone through. Let's see. We went through Don Dokken. Lars Ulrich brought up the first Metallica show they ever did, and was a Sunday night at Radio City in Anaheim, California. And he brought that up because he was recalling how Dave Mustaine, who was the guitar player that night, he says kind of screwed it up. And they said, well, how did he screw it up? He says, well, we opened with the song Hit the Lights, and Dave broke a string during that first song and didn't have a backup guitar. So literally after that first song, they just stopped and he walked backstage and he sat there trying to change a string and thread it and the whole 9 yards. And he wasn't very good at it, apparently, because Lars is like, I'm snuck down under my drums, hiding my face, and the crowd's like going, come on, come on. And he's like, I'm waiting for bottles to hit me. And he's like, I'm just under the drums, just like, please, please change the fucking string. Come on, come on, come on. And finally he got a string and they finished the set. But he's like, I was traumatized by that first show. It's kind of fun. Poor Dave Mustaine.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Right, Jay?
Jay Hannon of the great band Gizmachi that we were talking about earlier. Let's see. Speaking of Metallica, let's give our condolences, rest in peace, to Marcia Zazula, 68 years old, wife of John Z, who formed What record company, Johnny? Take a guess.
Oh, I saw this.
Don't look at
Mega
Megaforce Records.
Megaforce.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Marcia, rest in peace, with her husband John Zazula, or also known as John Z, formed Megaforce Records. Megaforce Records started out as John owning a guitar shop. I'm sorry, a small record shop, and decided, he was making money. He was making money selling these records and whatever, and he got a demo of Metallica, a demo cassette, and he's like, "Oh my God, these guys are so good, and they're unsigned, and holy shit, I gotta sign these guys, and everyone's gonna want to hear their music. These guys are great. I can't believe my luck." So him and his wife, the next year, formed Megaforce Records and released their first release, Metallica's Kill 'Em All album, and it blew up everywhere. Because they were, obviously thrash was brand new then, and Metallica's the greatest of them. And through the year, they did Metallica's Kill 'Em All. They also did Metallica's Ride the Lightning, until they got a deal later on with I think it was Elektra for Master of Puppets. But the first two Metallica albums were Megaforce, and that made Megaforce Record, of course, a huge, go-to name. And they discovered Anthrax, Testament, Overkill, Raven, all put out their albums, among others, on Megaforce, even an Ace Frehley record, and many others. Just pull those out of my head. So again, the co-founder, Marcia Zazula of Megaforce Records, rest in peace. Frehley's Comet, Halfay says, was the albums on Megaforce. And yeah, I mean, a lot of bands, Testament, Anthrax, Overkill, all the good thrash bands, basically, all about. Eddie Trunk says he talked about Johnny Z. He talked Johnny Z into signing Ace Frehley. Why would you not want to sign Ace Frehley? I mean, come on, he was already established by then. You kidding? That's the first thing I would do, is that you wouldn't have an argument from me. Cecil Music says Master of Puppets was on Elektra. Was their third album. Thank you, Cecil. So yeah, so rest in peace to her. Big influence, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. This was years ago. I was at Amoeba Records in Berkeley, and I found a Testament record, and I think it was on Megaforce, and I bought it because I was friends with. I knew Skolnick,
right?
know? So I bought it, and I remember giving
enough friends to get a comp copy, though.
No, but I bought it, and then I told him about it, and he's like, "Oh, wow!" Like he was surprised to hear about it. So I gave it to him. And I remember standing in the hallway at the guitar shop that we worked at. He taught lessons in the back. I fixed electric guitars.
Gave it to him. He didn't have a copy of his own album?
No, he didn't have it. He was like shocked that I knew about it, or that I saw one.
And he didn't have one?
No.
No,
so I gave it to him. And then when I went to his birthday, I went to his birthday party at his apartment one year. I remember walking into a room and seeing a pile of records, and that record was sitting there on the top of the pile.
Johnny's like, "Hey, now you clearly have a bunch of comp copies."
But I remember talking to him, though, because I remember we were looking. Let me see if I can find a picture of it, because I remember looking at the album, and there's a picture of the band, and I'm like, "Which one's you?" Because he didn't look like him on the record. And he's like, "That's me right there." He was showing me. Let me see if I can find it. Testament. Who in the chat knows what record that was?
With them on the cover?
With them, I don't know if they were on the cover. I think there was a picture of them on the back, and it was like a live picture, maybe.
I don't know. And by the way, if you're enjoying the video, if you enjoyed the show and tell guitar, take a second, leave us a thumbs up, please. It costs you nothing. Also, to answer my question earlier, why wouldn't someone sign Ace Frehley? Good point, because Ace was having a lot of problems with drinking, and he had a drunk driving situation back then. So that's a very good point in the chat. Thank you. I still would have signed him because I'm a big Kiss fan. Just saying. He won't make it to the studio, but yeah, no, early Testament was great. Early, I mean, Anthrax. I mean, come on, all the early metal bands. I mean, really big time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't remember which one it was, but
And Alex won't give it back to you. Johnny still doesn't have a copy of the album to this day. Alex won't give him
Legacy?
A copy.
It was a Legacy? All right, let me see. Well, no. I mean, the thing is, I wasn't even a fan. I mean, when I met him, I knew who he was because, I bought the guitar magazines because Van Halen was in them.
Sure.
But Skolnick always did he always had the column in those guitar for the practicing musician magazines.
Oh, that's cool.
So Skolnick, so I knew him from that stuff. And then so I was never a fan of the band. But eventually I'd met a bunch of them, hanging out at the studios and the rehearsal places around here, around Oakland. Eventually I would meet, Chuck Billy and who was the original bass player? What was his name? He would come to jams and he would jam. I have footage of him jamming out with friends of mine. We used to have these jams on like Sunday nights at this place in Oakland.
David Shea Gormley brings up Trouble was also on Megaforce. I mean, there's a lot of bands. I mean, you could go through a who's who, but again, Metallica put them on the map and they put Metallica on the map. So that was like a nice symbiotic relationship there. And yeah, Hellface Testament is still great. Alex Skolnick in Japan is doing, we talked about him, I think a week ago. Really is very, very popular out there. And again, a lot of bands are. We'll talk about that in a little bit because that's also in the news, the Japanese market versus the American market. But yeah, I mean, Testament is terrific. Scambot Terminator, John, I'll pay you to scalp that guitar neck. But a partial scalp would make that guitar that much better. I gotta disagree, man. I am not a fan of scalp necks. I know, I know Yngwie is a big fan of it, and certain things like the last 4 frets of an Ibanez gem for Steve Vai, but he's Steve Vai. And I'm John Mancuda. And, for me, I do not like scalp frets. I don't get along with them at all. I think, again, I think it ruins it. But again, go with your playing style. But I mean, that old Charvel is original. I don't want to mod it at all. I don't like really modding guitars unless they've been modded already. Then, then I don't mind. And I don't mind like a pickup switch or something because that's something you could do back and forth like that. But like, I'm just not into the scalp frets. It doesn't feel good to me. I have George Lynch's, Mom, the famous Skull and Bones guitar, and half of that from the 12th fret on is scalloped. But, I don't really play that much up there. And when I do, I deal with it for as often as I play Mom. It's a treat once in a while, but it's not like one of my common Reach 4 guitars in my collection. It's a once in a while. So, and plus, when a celebrity does it, it's their guitar and you just play it as you get it. But, you got to go with that. Oh, my Mama Mancuda wants to know, Johnny, was this before or after you lived with Child Desmond?
It was before. It was before. And actually, when Skolnick heard that I was moving on to work with Desmond, he was really excited, because he knew, of course, who he was, and I remember he gave me a copy of his band's album at the time to give to Desmond, which I did.
Oh yeah, for sure. Desmond's a genius. I mean, that still blows my mind. Also, David Shea Gormley, I guess new here to the channel, asking, do you have the original George Lynch Mom guitar? Yes, I have a bunch of George's original guitars. If you stick around this show or you watch a lot of the reruns, actually it's in one of the reruns. I bring it on. to one of the reruns, you could get a good look at it. I have a lot of celebrity guitars in my collection. That's one of my things. I'm like a version of a Hard Rock Cafe. And good night, Sandra. Thank you, love.
Good night, Sandra.
But
Yeah, just check the playlist. There's when you go to the homepage of the channel here, you'll see a playlist that says Talking Guitars and 80s Metal. Scroll through there and just look at the thumbnail. You'll see a thumbnail of John holding up that guitar.
That guitar of the week. And there's about like 80 something episodes under there, you know, that are nice and consistent. So check that out, and you could look at those. But yeah, I mean, I have the original Skull and Bones mom guitar. I have the original Purple Tiger. I have a bunch of them, of George's and other artists too. And I bring them on the show every week. I bring on some guitar. Sometimes it's celebrity, sometimes it's not. I've had Bon Jovi guitars on here. I've had Poison guitars on here. Warrant, Whitesnake. I've had who's who. So just, stick around the channel and look through the reruns. But yeah, thank you for the question. Let's see. Scam about Terminator. Back to scallop fretboards. Okay, I'm good with your answer. I have 2 guitars with scallop necks. It is definitely different, but easier to play faster. I could see that guitar perfect to be scalloped. Listen, if you like scallop necks, absolutely. I don't blame you that an old maple Charvel neck would be great scalloped. I mean, they're really great necks, depending on your playing style. I myself, not a scallop fan. I own, like I said, a handful of scallop guitars. I could think of a few others that I just happen to get because I like the guitar so much. It's like, okay, it has a scallop fretboard or half a scallop fretboard. But overall, other than like, four last frets on a gem, I'm really just not into scallops. And I probably have maybe like, including the mom guitar, maybe 4 or 5 others total out of, my whole guitar collection. Just not my thing. But look, man, I don't blame you. If you're big on it, some people like it. It's a different, access on bending. And, me, I feel like I'm just not connecting. You really have to press it harder, and just not my playing style. But again, I don't blame you for your taste on it, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of scallop necks.
Have you played them though? You played them.
Oh yeah. And it's not my thing. I mean, but that was kind of I don't want to say fad, but it kind of was a thing at a certain time. That was
Yngwie made it popular, and then Lynch had it on mom, on half of mom, on the upper register of mom, and then Vi. Like I said, I don't mind them on the last 4 frets of a gem. I'm fine with that because the frets are so tight together that it's, you just, tapping anyway, it's fine. But like the whole board, I don't know, I've played like replicas of, Yngwie's duck guitar. And just for me, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something in trying to get it, It's like scallops are for Yngwie Malmsteen and Chef Gordon Ramsay. That's the way I look at it. Scallops, you idiots! Scallops!
Yeah, if you dig them.
No, you moron! No! It's all wrong.
If you dig them, it's cool.
Come on! Love that. Let's see. We're speaking about Japan. This is interesting. Dee Snider, because Alex Skolnick, very popular in Japan, popular in the States too, but not like Japan. And I've always heard, and real quick answer to the question, David Shea Gomery, yes, Yngwie Malmsteen, the entire board is scalloped. Lynch, just on mom, just the upper register, just from the 12th on. Or maybe it's the 10th. I have to look at it. But anyway, yeah, Yngwie's whole board is scalloped. But look, as far as artists in Japan, artists can be popular here or hold an audience here, but there's nothing like the way a lot of guitarists are in Japan. Marty Friedman, Robot Master Switch is bringing up. Marty Friedman owns Japan. You bet he is. He does a cooking show. He does guitar shows and concerts. I mean, good God, it's unbelievable how popular a lot of artists are in Japan, bands and solo artists. And yet in the States, they're like, okay, or they're playing a club. And Dee Snider brought it up in an interview. He's like, in Japan, in the States, Twisted Sister will play a 9,000 person audience. In Germany and Belgium, will play 90,000. 90,000 versus 9,000 in Germany and Belgium, because in the States, and he was really pissed about this because he's a New York artist, my Long Island homeboy, actually. Twisted Sister is not a one-hit wonder. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, they did that song, we're not going to take it. I was with them when they were not with them, but I was following them and enjoying their music when they came out with their early albums before Stay Hungry even. You had Under the Blade, and that was like a really, was it You Can't Stop Rock and Roll? I think that was the first song I heard from them. Yeah, because I think Under the Blade, was that the first album? That might have also been the first. I'm a little confused, but let's put it this way. There's a lot of early Twisted Sister songs that are good, not just We're Not Gonna Take It. And after, there's a couple of, really good songs. It's a good band, but for some reason, because We're Not Gonna Take It was so big in the States, it's like one hit wonder, versus overseas in Europe and in Asia, they're still supporting them to this day. Twisted Sister could sell out an arena in Japan, in Germany, in Belgium, because the mindset over there, they still love guitar metal. I remember Ted Poley of Danger Danger, name drop, telling me years back that, he'd enjoy the States, but in Japan, they'd wait for them at the airport. They'd have little dolls of each member. They'd hand them as gifts. They'd have these giant banners everywhere. I mean, it was like the worship for rock stars overseas just dwarfs the fickleness for rock stars in America. And Dee was bringing that up. Also brought up, which I thought was very funny, he told an old story. This one's great. Catch this, Johnny. So there's a festival in Japan, and the festival at the time was Twisted Sister, Whitesnake, and Queensryche were among the top tier bands in there. So D goes, and the promoter goes to me. He's like, "Great news, you're headlining." He's like, "Great, we're headlining. This is cool, very cool." So he's like, "So what time do we go on?" He's like, 4. 4. Who the fuck goes on at 4 in the afternoon as a headliner? No. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Who the fuck goes on at 4 a.m.? He's like, well, who's before us? He's like, well, Whitesnake. He's like, well, put them as the headliner. So he's like, all right, well, why is it 4 a.m.? He's like, well, the World Cup just happened, and Spain is very big on soccer. So they want to actually play 2 hours of highlights of the World Cup as a lead into the headliner. So at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., they're going to play 2 hours of World Cup video footage, and you'll be following that. He's like, fuck that. Give Whitesnake the headliner. So the promoter goes, wait, gets better. The promoter goes up to David Coverdale. He says, hey, Coverdale, great news. You're the headliner tonight. He's like, I thought Twisted Sister was the headliner. He's like, no, you're the headliner tonight. He's like, oh, great. What time do we go on? He's like, 4. He's like, 4? Fuck that. What time does Twisted Sister go on? He's like, 2. 12. He's like, well, put someone else on. Who else is on the bill? Queensryche. He's like, give it to them. So the promoter goes to Queensryche, and Queensryche weren't that big then. So they go, hey, great news. Jeff Tate, Chris DeGarmo, Whip Wilton, you guys, good news. You guys are the headliner. Queensryche's like, we're the headliner. Tate's like, really? We're the headliner? But what happened to Whitesnake and Twisted Sister? Nah, man, you're the headliner. Wow, this is great. Guys, we're the headliner. So Queensryche's all excited. So 10 o'clock comes, Whitesnake plays. 12 o'clock comes, Twisted Sister plays. 2 o'clock comes, the World Cup footage starts playing. And he says, by then, we at Twisted Sister, we're all packed up and we're on the bus. and it's 4 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Or it's 2:30 a.m. and our bus is pulling out, and we just see the Queensryche guys in the lobby, and they're running out to the bus. You fuckers! You fuckers! Fuck you, you fuckers! Because they realize they're going on at 4 a.m. So, there you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Tales from the road tour in Spain from D. Snyder of Twisted Sister. I love that story. I love that story. Let's see. So let's see. Don Dokken, Lars over, D. Snyder, Megaforce Records. Let's see. Gibson cut a deal with Gene Simmons. I wish Paulie were here for that.
I saw that.
You can go on guitarworld.com. Check that one out. There's Gene. Gibson cut a deal with Gene Simmons. They have a new partnership exclusively to make the new G2 basses. G2, 1G for Gibson, 1G for Gene. Let's get a photo of those up. For you bass players out there, which I am not one of you. I love that. I love that Twisted Sister Queensryche song. That story is just killer. Do you got it, Johnny? It's on guitarworld.com. And that's quite a pairing because Gibson's never had a deal with any members of Kiss, and they're not big on metal endorsements like that. Look at that bass. That's a good looking bass. All right, kind of a Firebird shape. Specifically for Gene, the G2 from Gibson. So we wish Gene and the Kiss camp well there. They know we're friends of the show. Let's go a little further. Rock Camp the movie is coming out very soon. You could check that out at watch.eventive.org. Punch that up, Johnny. And that's basically a big documentary about, rock and roll fantasy camp. And it's very cool. It's got like a who's who in this documentary. There's Lita Ford and Alice Cooper, the guys from Judas Priest and Rudy Sarzo, Gene and Paul from Kiss. Just like everyone and their mother is on this Rock Camp the movie.
Oh man, I wonder if I know people that are in this because I know a few people that have gone to those over the years, and they're always there. They're always there doing those.
You very well might. Bring it up. Watch.eventive.org.
Or is it just rockcamp.com?
Not
Rock Camp the movie coming February 16th.
Yeah, I mean I believe that's
There
the
it
one.
is.
Should be.
Yeah, they have a website.
I know they're offering it on watch.eventive, eventive.org. There we go. Yeah, so you might want to check that out. That looks very cool. And it's, it's behind the scenes documentary of, all these major rock stars that do these rock and roll fantasy camps and all the people that, that sign up and join them. And, it's a lot of fun. You get to play with and, get tips from all your guys, all your guys and girls that are like in the biz, all your heroes, to join those rock and roll fantasy camps. That's a fun little summer camp. It's basically summer camp meets Spinal Tap. And the movie looks fun. The movie, really gets into like the talking about it, the showing all about it. And, they go through a number of seasons of it, apparently. So that looks like a lot of fun. Let's see. Two other stories. Let's get into this one. This one's great. Another You got to Google this one, Johnny. Substitute teacher, 25. We all love that Van Halen Hot for Teacher video. Once again, another hot 20-something-year-old substitute teacher locked up for raping, quote-unquote, statutory rape, a 15-year-old student. And here we go again. Why can't it be me? Why can't it be me? I just have a thing. I've always had this thing. And again, maybe it's because of that Van Halen Hot for Teacher video. I think some of us have always had these, student teacher fantasies or whatever. But like the big thing is, I hate when it's a case like this. Look how fucking hot that girl is. 25 years old, smoking hot, and she's in jail because, again, a 15-year-old male student, she tortured him. She took advantage, quote unquote, of him by sending nudes, by taking videos of her blowing him. Holy fuck. Stop. Just stop. I would feel different, I'm sure, if it was a male on a female student. I would feel different if the age was younger, but I'm sorry. When I was 15 and 16, which, by the way, 16 is actually legal in certain states, but so is 15 actually. But if I was 15 and 16 as a male student, I was having sex. I was. Okay? That's just the fact. And when someone like that comes up to a 15-year-old male who's sexually active, he's not suffering. He's not being taken advantage of. I'm sorry. But when it's a 20-something female teacher that's smoking hot like that on a 15 and 16-year-old male student, I'm sorry. I'm so jealous. I'm so fucking jealous. It's beyond words. Because you know what? This kid is bragging to his friends, I'm fucking the substitute teacher, and look at her. And how do we know you're not lying? Well, she videoed herself blowing me. Here it is. Watch. I'm sorry. That kid is loving it. And as much as his church-bound mom, I took advantage of my son. She took my son's innocence. I am telling you, my son will never gain his innocence back. She took such advantage of your son is not taken advantage of. He's bragging. I'm telling you, he's telling his friends that this hot model-esque teacher is who I'm banging. And I don't care if I lost my virginity to an older woman who was, she was 17. Okay. 17. She was 17. That was, a few years older than me, but she was hot. But holy shit. This is the kid's teacher. I don't care. I'm fucking so jealous of this hottie taking this teen and saying, come on now. No. Yeah. And again, the kid is so upset, not because this chick slept with him multiple times at a hotel on her dime and videoed and sent him nudes and all this. This kid's upset because his mom stopped it. His fucking mom stopped it. This is where a kid hates his mom for the rest of her life. Because what's going to happen is this mom's going to be old one day. She's going to be in an old age home and she's going to be like, please don't put me in a home. And he's like, remember that time I was 15 and fucking that super hot looking teacher and you put a stop to it because it was against what Jesus wanted. That's what you thought. Now you're going in a home and you're going to eat mush and I'm never talking to you again.
Wait, where's the mom?
David Crosby. Not my mom. My
Actually,
mom
no. Actually,
my mom always knew I was hooking up. I hooked up at an early age. I was doing it a lot. I was a very, very healthy young boy. And I was a very lucky young boy that anyone would sleep with my stupid ass. But the idea that this kid's mom,
here it is. John Bale, are you watching this? There.
Is that her? Is that her? She's got that beehive hairdo. Is that his mom?
No, that's the kid.
Oh, that's the kid. Yeah, like I said, all jokes aside, I know it's a double standard. I know it sounds terrible. In my eyes, it would be different if it was a teenage girl and a male teacher. I admit it. I admit
it'd be totally different. It'd be the total opposite.
I'd be totally against that. I would say, yep, that's statutory rape. That yes. But I'm sorry.
But
speaking as someone who was once a 15-year-old teen, trying to get laid from everything I could, I'm fucking holes in the walls and tearing my mattress and humping my pillow and everything I could. And mom said, "What are you doing with that Vaseline?" Nothing, mom, nothing. Every goddamn thing I can. And this type of woman comes up to me and says, "Would it be okay if I sucked your dick on my lunch hour every day and let you video it?" Yes. I mean, holy shit. This kid was only wronged, not by the teacher, by his mom. The mom should be in prison, not the teacher. When it's a teenage boy, 15, and this kid, for all I know, maybe pimply and trying to get laid and couldn't get laid, and suddenly, like a fantasy, this woman walks into his life. Love comes walking in. I want to lock up the mom myself. Lock the mom up. Lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. Yeah, listen. I'm sorry, but this story breaks my heart. And now I'm going to just write to this woman in prison, because that's my only chance with her. Look at her. Jesus Christ, she's hot.
Well, she's crazy.
They're all crazy.
Anybody that does that is insane.
They're all crazy. I accept that. Crazy comes with the vagina. I accept that. There's crazy. I've never not been anyone crazy. It's a level of crazy that you can accept, and I can accept that level of crazy. Look at that crazy. That's crazy hot. I'm good. Just keep sharp objects away from her. Breaks my fucking heart. My heart goes out to this kid. Kid, if you are watching, if you are among our audience, I am so sorry that this happened to you. I am so sorry that your mom did this to you. I am so sorry. And remember her when she gets old, because vengeance is a dish best served cold. And that's what I have to say on the subject. That's it. It's traumatizing. This poor kid. Look at him. This poor kid with that hair.
He had dreams and stuff, and look what she did to him. John Bale, where are you?
That chick doesn't have a gross deformity. Look at her. She's perfect. Look at her. And you know what? Yeah. This isn't the first time. By the way, I've said this on the show before. I don't know what it is in the water these days that all the hottest teachers are sleeping with their teen students nowadays, because when I was 15, all my teachers were these wretched hags, like 90-year-old deformities, like E.T. with a wig on it. Like, no, my mom. I love my mom. No, but her peers. But
like this woman.
Like that woman, exactly. My 7th grade English teacher right there, or my 8th grade English teacher.
Miss Crosby or 9th grade. How old are you when you're 15? What are you in? 9th grade, 10th grade? You're 15 when you're 15.
Yeah, no, let's see.
No, mentally you're like you're 10.
You're in high school. You're in high school. Jesus Christ, you're in high school. All I know is that the teachers, and every other week there's a story like this. It's killing me. Every other week there's a story like this, that some teen, in Kentucky or Virginia or wherever, just incredibly hot, sleeps with their student, and it's always the same story. And then the mom went through the kid's computer, went through the kid's phone, and found videos of her masturbating and notes saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see you in school tomorrow." And thank you, David Shea Gormer. Yeah. So
Good night, David.
yeah. So I think
Channel member.
I think it's so wrong that this mom and all these moms do this to these poor high school students with these incredibly hot teachers. I don't know how they even got so hot now. They're getting younger and hotter the more they I don't know. It's just like it seems to be on the job application. Must be young and hot. Because none of my teachers look like that. There were grizzled pieces of bacon with hair. What the fuck happened? It's killing me.
With onions as
In their vaginas, yes. They were sauteing onions up there.
oh gosh.
All I know is it's a terrible, terrible tragedy. And I'm sorry, this kid was not taken advantage of by anyone except his mother. His mother ended his streak of being the most popular kid in school. It's like that Adam Sandler movie. What was that Adam Sandler movie where he's sleeping with the hot teacher and he's super popular in school and everyone knows he's banging the teacher, and then the teacher gets jailed and then his life sucks for the rest of it. Yeah, the mother.
Yeah.
Mother, if you're the mother of a child and you're listening and this is you and you've done this to your child, shame on you. Shame on you. You've ruined your kid's life. Your kid would have been a missile for success in letting her use his missile.
See, now he's missing.
Yeah, now you don't know what happened. Now he probably went off and ran away from home. If my mom did that, I would have run away from home too. How do you think I got to LA from New York? I don't know. Anyway, so I had to rant about that. And finally, today in the news, this is my favorite story of the week right here. David Hasselhoff, the Hoff, Knight Rider, Baywatch, and a musical star in his own right, incredibly popular in Europe, pop culture icon, and a heck of a nice guy, because I've met him and had lunch with him.
Did you guys have hamburgers on the floor?
No, but I think I told you about this. We sat at tables next to each other and we just started talking through the whole meal. And these fans ran up. This old woman and man ran up, and the woman grabs him by the neck from behind. Take a photo, honey.
Yeah.
Photo. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, can I put this down? I'm eating." And the poor guy is just wanted to eat his lunch. But yeah, the Hoff is super popular in Europe to this day. Just did a heavy metal song with two guys in Europe. I forget the name, but you could Google it.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
super popular pop culture icon. If you guys watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, you might remember him in a cameo scene in his Baywatch outfit where he decided to swim Patrick and SpongeBob on his back across the ocean to get back to Bikini Bottom, where SpongeBob lives. But the big story is that he's having an auction, or he's consigned some things to auction. And one of those things to auction he's consigned is a giant. You ready with those photos, Johnny?
Let me see. Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is it. Hopefully that's it.
I hope so. There it is. Okay. Now this is David Hasselhoff, the real one, on the left. On the right is the head of a giant model of David Hasselhoff that they used in the SpongeBob movie, and they drew, they basically dragged it across the ocean with the boat, but it made it look like he was swimming with SpongeBob and Patrick on his back. But this is like a 20-something foot giant model. Go to photo number 2 of swimming David Hasselhoff. This thing is like 20-something feet. It's made of like fiberglass and some other buoyant material that floats.
Ugh, it's so ugly.
Wait till you see this thing. But the first photo shows how big it is. I mean, his head is as big as real David Hasselhoff. But look at the size of this photo. This thing's 20-something feet. It's like a fucking boat. David Hasselhoff. This thing they're hoping and suspecting will go for, get this now, $1 million. $1 million.
Oh my gosh. I'll be right back.
Okay. And David Hasselhoff is so popular in pop culture that there's multiple people that are looking to bid on this thing. Now, understand, looking at that thing and seeing the first photo where David is about the size of the head, you could see this thing's like the size of a boat. What in the fuck are you going to do with a 20-something foot floating David Hasselhoff? As much as I love the guy, and I'm a fan of Knight Rider, and he's super nice, and holy fuck fest, $1 million. You could have a house, or you could have this giant floating David Hasselhoff as seen in SpongeBob the movie. Which one appeals to you? Where are you even going to put this fucking thing? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Yeah, and I'm wondering, is it anatomically correct? What is under that red? Don't put it on me. Put it on him. What is under that red bathing suit? Does he have actual life-size junk under there? I mean, could you just look at this thing? It's not even a surfboard size. It's like a small boat. This big fiberglass thing that floats. I mean, you could take this thing on the water and, I don't know, paddle your way across to the other, the other continent or something. I mean, holy shit. For real. That's crazy. And look at how happy he is. You know why he's smiling like that? Because he's going to sell for a fucking $1 million. At least. With multiple bidders. Holy shit. I mean, look, I collect some movie props. I've dealt in movie props. I have a lot of props from Lost and other things I've done. And I've dealt with, at the auction house at Profiles in History and on the TV show Hollywood Treasure. And I've dealt with some famous movie props. But again, Wolverine's claws, the carpet bag from Mary Poppins, even Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is a car, or the Knight 2000 is a car. Kit, the Trans Am is a car. A Back to the Future DeLorean is a car. I mean, this thing's bigger than a fucking car. Where are you going to put it? And what the fuck are you going to do with it? I mean, yeah, Lenny Lou wants to know, can his mouth fit a fleshlight? Then maybe, then maybe you have something more power there. You have these Hasselhoff fantasies. Maybe you're Kim Jong-un and you want to really terrorize someone and you want to put a nuclear missile up his ass and turn it into a Hasselhoff rocket, like in some, Austin Powers sequel or something. The Hasselhoff rocket is launching now, Mr. Bigglesworth. I mean, Jesus. What in the world are you going to do with a 20-something foot floating David Hasselhoff? And why in the world, if you have $1 million, have you not set me up on a date with your daughter, cousin, sister, or anyone in your family?
Substitute teacher?
Yeah, if you're a substitute teacher, boy. Kurt 5150 wants to know, is his dick a rudder? Make no mistake. I mean, I guess you could put an engine up his ass or something. They basically, Hobo Rody says, I'm getting all sour grapes because I can't raise a winning bid for it. No, I cannot afford $1 million for that. For that? No. And I also can't get that substitute teacher. She's in jail, but I'll wait for her. But look, the fact is, this is the type of crazy world we live in, baby. You know, if you have a boat and you want to tow that behind your boat and maybe put your kids on the back and you're like the Sultan of Dubai, okay, I get it. And look, around the world, he's a massive star, massive pop culture icon. I'm not taking that away from him. But there's a line you got to draw. I mean, really, you know, I'm just saying. Johnny, would you want that?
No.
All right, well, that's too bad. I was going to get
Not at all.
I was going to get for Christmas or your birthday, but I don't know.
That's scary, man.
Lenny Lou says, maybe I would sit on that face. Hey, listen, you know, if it was $100,000, I'd say, Lenny, go for it, baby. But $1 million? Come on. That's crazy. But anyway, there you go, boys and girls. That's the news this week. David Hasselhoff, love you, man. But $1 million, holy shit. God bless you, man, that you could do that. I mean, shit, everything I'm worth is not a fraction of that. So there you go. There you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So please, if you're not spending $1 million on David Hasselhoff, leave a thumbs up on the video because that costs you nothing.
We're just 2 away.
Yeah. Oh, are we?
We're just 2 away. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
1 away.
Somebody else leave a thumbs up. Thank you. We appreciate that. And look, if you enjoyed this episode, thank you, everybody. We appreciate that. If you guys and girls in the audience have any comments on the episode, leave them in the comments section of the video. We reply to them. We love hearing back from you guys because we appreciate and love and care about our audience. There you go.
Yes, we love all of you. Thank you so much.
We really do appreciate our audience. Seriously. Like beyond words.
Yes.
Hobo Rody says, if you tow it behind your submarine, people will think they actually spotted the Hoff swimming. Yeah, listen, I mean, you know, he's a bit big, but isn't that David Hasselhoff? He looks so close. He's actually 10 miles out. Imagine like he hit an oil tanker like that. There's a big oil spill, and you just see like an oil-covered Hasselhoff floating there like a buoy. Wow. Anyway, Johnny, who do we have to thank for today's episode besides our beloved sponsors and audience? Who do we have to thank? Who are our channel members that get an extra thank you?
Ooh. Extra special thank you.
Thank you to our channel members like Halface, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, Jim Nicholas, YouTube Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., Pal Guitar, Dan Harlan, Frank Coker and Ben Tom, Thomas Santiago, Brian Spaulding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Hugh Caldwell, David Crosby is a dildo fucker, Jesus Rapes Me, Randy Price, and Steve Carmichael. Ooh.
Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
And
let's also thank, you know, what's really funny is, Johnny, as we get more channel members, you're like making him so small to squeeze into there. You're lucky I'm reading them on big screens because it's like eventually I'm going to have to get like granny glasses, like reading glasses just to read our thank yous to our channel members because they'll be like in 0.02 font. So thank you to our channel members, Charles Green, Fruitcake Tony, Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Linny Lou, and Mary, both lusting after that David Hasselhoff floaty. Gargets Entertainment, Kurt 5150, Susan Silvestri, welcome. Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Ballin, Wayno, Stephen Franklin, Will Starr, R. Habs, KXM Rock, David Shea Gomery, Bozique, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Julia Baldessari, Jarhead Rock, and everybody out in the audience. Yeah, we have a lot more members. Thank you all for joining our channel. We appreciate that. And we hope that you come here and have fun on Tuesday nights when you do, because that's what it is. Tuesday is definitely an escape from the crazy reality out there that's going on in the world. And what a fucking nutty week it's been with more to come. So Bottom line is, we love you. We appreciate you. Please, please, please. Special. I always say this, but extra special right now because some people really close to me just caught COVID and they're not doing well. Please wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and be kind to each other, please. This is getting too close to home for me now. Like, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know somebody that passed away from it.
Yeah, I know a few somebodies in my circle that have passed away, but like, this is where you come to escape from that. But I still care about you enough to tell you, wear the mask, please wash your hands, please social distance. Again, it's too close to home for me now. People that are really, really meaningful to me right now are not doing well with COVID. And it needs to be said. So that's it. But anyway, thank you for spending Tuesdays with us. Got anything else to say, Johnny? We good?
Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll see you guys Friday. Talking Van Halen with Jay Hannon. Saturday night with John BL. And thank you so much, False Flag, for the super chat today.
Thank you, False Flag.
Mixing an album.
And thank you, Sean, for the delicious spices and sauces. And thank your wife for picking them out for me. Terrific stuff,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, Sean, thank you. Thank you as well. I've been eating
Sean. Oh, that's how it's pronounced. It's because it's French Cajun. Janson.
Awesome.
I'm getting that right, Sean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to send any of us anything else, address is down below. Or contact John.
Yeah.
And Lenny Lou, look at that. Lenny Lou found
Facebook.
Lenny Lou found the new icon. Channel members get special emojis. And she found the new one of me and Eddie.
Nice.
Right there.
Where's me and Paulie? Where's Blue Rhino? Where's my Blue Rhino emoji?
The picture has to be that big.
Thank you, Cobra Kai Platoon, for the awesome, awesome graphics again. That's awesome. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Yes, Cobra Kai. Thank you so much for everything, man.
And Johnny, Paulie, and myself will see you next Tuesday. Rock on, everybody. Be safe out there. We love you. We appreciate you.
Thumbs up, subscribe. And there's nobody to raid. Everybody's asleep. So
add my Instagram. Say hi to me on Facebook.
Follow me on Instagram, Johnny Beane, and EVH Gear Live. All right.
We love you.
Good night.